That's what I'm talking about. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Arvanauts, to a Tuesday stream, and also welcome to August. It is August 1st, 2017. I am your host, Arvin Eleron, and this is Adventures in Middle-earth Wilderland Adventures. I hope you guys are excited and looking forward to Day 4 of Wilderland Adventures as we continue with our intrepid crew across the world of J.R.R. Tolkien. Before we get there, a couple of reminders about ways to support the stream. If you haven't done so already, please tweet out the stream to all and sundry with exclamation point CTT. Please let everyone know about the stream by doing that. Please make sure to check out the various things you can on this channel, exclamation point ArvTube, which will let you check out the YouTube channel and see all the past broadcasts of this stream and in this particular campaign as well. Exclamation point Steam Group will get you over to the Arvanauts Steam Group, where you can hang out with the Arvanauts in between streams. Same thing with exclamation point Discord, which is really hopping. You want to make sure that you have it. The on-stream chat doesn't seem to be updating. That is true. It doesn't seem to be updating. Well, it wouldn't be a stream, would it? It would definitely not be a stream if my chat program wasn't failing. So that's probably why it was. I was wondering why it was so quiet, actually. So give me just 1 second here. No. So unfortunately, Kilobyte, I hate to tell you, but unfortunately, close the program. Unfortunately, it looks like Rutoni Chat may be the exact same problem that all the others have. I just can't get a third-party program to work in my chat system. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about that too much. I will try to get up an alternative while I am doing that, though. But thank you for letting me know, because I did not see that until I saw the little highlight. So I was a little surprised. I'm like, why is nobody actually responding? Thank you for the follow, Nien. So wait a second. Let me just get up my quick updated chat here. See if we can do that. Okay. Yeah. Something is causing all of my third-party chat programs, and I mean all of my third-party chat programs, to freeze and not want to end. Yeah, and it'll just freeze and stay there forever, and it just won't. It doesn't matter what I try, or what I try to do with it. It just won't. It won't work. So it was a good idea. It was definitely a good idea, Kilobyte. But unfortunately, it looks like it's just not. I'm just not going to be able to get a third-party system functional. Yeah, no, it's just it froze up. I started. This is exactly what happened to every other third-party program that I have. I've tried every other third-party program now, and every single one of them, for some reason, freezes. So I don't know what it is or why. I don't get it. But it just doesn't. It doesn't work. So I'm gonna have to. It's not gonna work, unfortunately. So I'm just gonna have to use my pop-out window capture, and I'm just gonna have to leave it at that because I can't get it to work, and I'm tired of having this happen every single time. So no big deal. I will get it captured this way. So give me just a second while I get chat back on the stream. There we go. There is chat. Except, of course, I've got to make sure that I color code that. So give me 1 second. Also, I apologize to my players who are probably at this point wondering what is going on and why there is an issue, or what exactly is the issue that is occurring. Let's see. All right, let's... All right, Twitch chat, which is right there. Let's add that. There we go. Lovely. Okay, there's that. So let's get that like this. Someone clip my reaction, please. To what, Violacious Ton? Whoops. Clip my reaction to what exactly? All right, there we go. Now you guys are back on the stream. I apologize again for my third-party chat programs being incapable of working, but Doesn't matter what I try, they all do the same thing. Anyway, where was I? Yes, so, but thank you guys for being here, and I'm glad that people were, in fact, chatting in chat, and that it wasn't actually working. Where was I? Discord, ! Discord. To check that out, ! Steam group. I think I mentioned ! ArvTube, and most notably, ! Arvtreon, which is !ARVTREON. And last but certainly not least, and that's very valuable because that does a lot of cool stuff for the channel, so hopefully you guys are able to support that way. And last but certainly not least, that purple button right below the window is the sub button. I am an affiliate, and I do have emotes now. So if you want to be able to use such cool things as, for example, this, whoops, there we go, or this, or that. All of those three things are available to you if you are able to subscribe to the channel. The $4.99 will get you that Arv Hype, is that Get Hype thing. That's Arvin E Hype. If you do the $9.99, that gets you the Quill, and the $24.99 would get you the So Good. So please consider doing that if you possibly can, because as I said, it's good for the channel and good for you. Does a body good. Today we are continuing with Wilderland Adventures. After this stream, I'll be going over to GOG and continuing my D&D with the GOG campaign. I'll be continuing that over there, so please make sure to check that out. But today is the Incredible Adventures in Middle-earth Wilderland Adventures. I realize I've had myself unmuted all this time, the poor folks, so they've heard me babbling on in there. Okay, well, sorry guys. So I'm going to go over to my players right now so you can actually see them because it's, well, they're the stars of the show. So let me get like that and switch over to this, and there they are. Let me unmute them as well. And there we go. Yeah, so they got to hear me raving about my chat programs. So we have got our crew here. We are missing one of them at the moment, who hopefully will be joining us shortly, and that is Trendane. I'm hoping that he doesn't have internet problems, which may be the issue, because he's not online and he hasn't responded, and usually he's extremely reliable, so I'm guessing that we're dealing with an internet issue. So we'll have to attend to that problem, and hopefully he will join us. But in the meantime, of course, we have our other wonderful players who have their own problems to attend to, as we will discuss in just a moment. So I will move down here and start, as I usually do, with the person who's on the top of the column, and that happens to be our good friend Will, who is at the top of the column right now. You've risen up the ladder, as it were, to spot number 2. Hello, Will. How are you? How's life? And how are things? How are you hanging in there so far?
I'm good. I'm hanging in. I'm excited for today's game. Been looking forward to this one for a while. So, I'm glad that we're back today and up to our old tricks.
Yes. Who are you playing?
I will be playing Robar Staunton, who is a Dunedain Ranger. In a bit of a sticky situation at the moment because there's a damn horde of spooders coming towards us, and Robar's looking forward to try and slaying some and saving a dad in the process as well.
I have to save a dad. That's right.
Time to save a dad.
That's right. I'm looking forward to seeing how you guys handle that, and seeing whether or not the campaign's over before it begins. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure you guys will figure out a way. Well, welcome. Pleasure to have you on board. Oh, and also congratulations are in order because the Kickstarter for Breath of Gore completed and was epically successful. Right? You guys made 8,300 US, I think. Something like that?
800 US, I think. Yeah.
Wow. That's badass, man.
Yeah.
So you guys, now that you've recovered after sleeping for a couple of days to be able to do that, I assume you're pretty pumped up about that, right?
I am, yeah. Had a big 48-hour long sleep, and now I'm ready to. I mean, the real challenge begins now of actually doing it. So
now you got to fulfill it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
But very excited, very happy with that, and still riding that high.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm really excited to see the actual finished product of the stuff that came in. So that's awesome. All right, moving right down the line, we have, of course, our good friend Terry Tunes, who joins us as usual sporting her hat. You guys didn't see, actually, before the cast began, when we were setting up the windows, that it was basically Terry with the blue cap setting off the very, Lauren and Will, who are kind of like, we got the hoodies, whatever, man. Yeah, exactly. So we had basically like, we had like dark, and then Terry's like, hi, everyone, Blue Hat, how are you? Good to see you, Terry. How's life? How's the universe and everything?
Hi, the universe and everything. I heard that people don't very like the universe and everything, but what was the exact phrasing? Oh, most people regarded it as a bad move.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
No, everything is fine so far. And yeah, thanks for having me and stuff. I am going to play Inge, a dwarf from the Erebor. Or rather, her parents are from the Erebor. She was born on the road. She's rather young for a dwarf, actually. But yeah, she is a wanderer. Of course, and a stonemason, actually. She didn't get to do any masonry so far, but currently she is stuck on a wall, which is the closest to masonry we are getting so far. Maybe she can, dig a hole through the wall or something. I don't know.
We were saying before that she's probably clearly in the best position. She's out of view of the spiders right now, so this couldn't be any better for her.
Yeah, and also high up, because we all know spiders can't climb walls or anything.
Right, exactly. And stuck in a web, which spiders have difficulty with webs. So this is really...
They will also get stuck in the web if they attempt to climb up there. So
they'll never expect it. It's taking a strength and playing it against them.
Yes.
It's all part of their plan. But I'm looking forward to seeing how Inge handles this situation as well. But always a pleasure to have Terry on board. Moving right along, we have the hoodie buddy for Robar down there, and that, of course, is Lauren Irwin. Hi, Lauren. How are you?
Hoodie. I'm good. I am the hoodie. The hoodie is me.
You are the hoodie. How is life down in the Big Easy?
Oy vey.
That good, huh?
Sure.
What does that sound? Hey, man.
That's the sound.
Lauren, are you okay?
That's the sound of a thesis film just slowly crushing me as it looms closer and closer. It'll be fine. It's whatever. I'm playing D&D today. It's fine. But things are good. They're very good. Rosie. Rosie is a hobbit treasure hunter from the Shire who didn't want to be a gardener, so she bounced, and she fell in with a bad crowd a while ago, and then to get away with them, she fell in with this crowd, and things were mostly okay. We were just, escorting someone, and now it seems like there are spooters. Lots and lots of spooters.
And now there are lots and lots of spooters. And just as we were finishing up your introduction, we had Trendane, who loudly shouts in chat, "I'm awake! I'm awake!" So Trendane is awake. That means you should be joining up with Zoom just in time. This is for those of you who don't know. Will appreciate this. When you were a streamer, the way that you get anyone to show up that you hadn't planned was to capture all the windows in a different way, because that ensures that will cause the people to show up in time to mess up all of the windows you just captured. So that's how you do it. In case anyone wants to summon anyone, make sure that you start something without them so that they will show up and immediately make it so you have to include them. That's how this works. That's the process. But yes, so this crew has been going through the forest of Mirkwood in an attempt to help two characters, Belgo and Baldur, who have been trying to traverse Mirkwood so that Baldur can bring some goods that he has over to the other side to some friends of his, and hopefully restart his, or at least this is the plan, to restart his merchant business, which has taken a bad turn since Smog destroyed Lake Town, fell right on top of Lake Town and destroyed it now 5 years ago. And so, here he is. Now I will now capture these windows properly. And so, these wonderful people decided that they would go along and help out Baldur and Belgo, and have had some interesting adventures since then. They've had a chance to meet up with some elves. They've been treated like kings. They had a pleasant experience with twice-baked honey cakes, courtesy of Tawny Bear, about whom more in a moment, and had a chance to get some nice sleep and some nice rest. And then they had the adventures began to get a little bit darker and darker and darker. Belgo in particular seems to have been affected by the conditions of these woods and by the darkness of Mirkwood. And one evening when they stopped for the night, Baldur ended up apparently either drinking from or falling into a stream, which apparently has caused him to lose his memory. He went running off and then was apparently dragged off, and with some extra tracking and some hunting it down, they discovered that he had actually been captured by spiders. And so the party now finds themselves trying to rescue him. Inga went up half the way and then got stuck. And so now Robar and Rosie are kind of looking around the edges of the walls trying to figure out how to rescue her, while the spiders are kind of looking around, while Baldur struggles fully webbed, and Tawny Bear remains back at the clearing with the aforementioned Belgo trying to keep him safe. And so I'm going to capture windows to get everybody back on board, as I typically intend to do. So just give me a second whilst I do that. I will do this in studio mode so as to make it that much more interesting for you guys. So talk amongst yourselves. Tren, do you want to introduce yourself as I'm getting your everyone's pictures kind of arranged? It was pretty funny too, because I was like, I know he's going to show up. I know he'll be here unless he had an internet problem, which was definitely a possibility. And
it still is a possibility. I mean,
yeah.
Just about the point that you get everything captured, Comcast will decide that it's just going to.
Yeah, that'll be really, really sweet.
No, I went to sleep, at like midnight, thinking, hey, between now and 8 o'clock, I usually only sleep 5 hours anyway, so what's the big deal?
Mm-hmm.
And so I went to sleep about midnight. I woke up at 2, and I'm desperately trying to go to sleep, laying in bed, staring at the ceiling. I went to bed. That wasn't the problem. Sleeping is the hard. Anyway, so about, I guess, 5:30 or so, I drifted off and didn't realize it, because if I had been aware of the fact that I was just about to fall asleep, I would have basically pushed a little button in my brain that said, all right, 2 hours and then get up. And I would have woken up in time. And so I'm laying here, I'm dreaming about something with bugs in it. I don't remember exactly. Fitting,
Yeah, right. It was appropriate.
And so I kind of half open my eyes, looking into the pillow, thinking, just don't scratch the surface of your eyeball on the pillow, please. Just for once, don't do this.
Is this a common problem?
Is that every day?
Yeah, it actually is. It's a very common problem for me. And so I kind of rolled over and looked up at the window and saw the sunlight streaming across the neighbor's tree. And I was like, oh, it's a nice clear, I rolled over and I looked at the clock and I'm like, no! And I got my bed. And my housemate was just about to leave, and I'm scrambling around to go to the restroom and get my water, which I didn't do. I forgot to grab water. Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Well, it's no problem, man. These things occur.
No, it really kind of pisses me off, because usually I'm one of the first people.
I know you are. We all said the same thing.
Honestly, that story is about as compelling as last week's episode. So
yeah.
At least it was exciting.
I did more in that story than I did in last week's episode. So.
We thought you were just pissed off because you'd be babysitting this episode. It's like, nah, I'm better than this.
Well, no, as you will remember, though, at the very end of our last session, he actually booked it out of the clearing. So although there is babysitting, you also have a reluctant charge, Tawny Bear. Although you made some joke about breaking his legs, which I didn't take seriously. If you really want to pursue that down, and actually attempt to break his legs, we can discuss the the quality of your conversion to a pacifist and see whether or not that happens. I'm almost
I was going to say, he's kind of a pacifist now, but he's feeling some old urges.
He's got his moments.
But I draw the line at kids.
Right, yeah, exactly. Being a pacifist is one thing, but when children are involved, clearly. All right, I should be just about ready to go. And then we are. That's studio mode out of it. Hey, there we are. There's all the people. So, Trende, now that you've introduced yourself as being awake, who are you playing?
Which may or may not be true.
Who are you playing in this adventure?
I don't remember. Oh, a garbage truck. I'm not playing a garbage truck. It's just there's one coming. Feel like you've been run over by a garbage truck. The who am I playing? This is what it's gonna be like, people. I'm playing a Beorning named Tawny Bear.
Yeah.
Oh, and we forgot to put the trash out. Nice.
Good morning.
Yeah,
It's one of those, isn't it?
it's gonna be, and at 3:30, I'm laying there trying to get, and I'm remembering having a conversation with Arv. So what do we do if a character dies? He's like, oh, we'll figure it out. I'm like, no, I want to know. What do we do if a character, I mean, a bunch of arrows hit. The hell is that guy's name? Sean Bean's character in the Lord of the Rings.
Boromir.
Thank you, Boromir. I mean, he was sort of in the rest of it, but he didn't really do anything in the rest of it. He just kind of shut up and smiled and walked through somebody. Who am I playing? I'm playing this guy who's a Beorning named Tawny Bear. Thank you. Please continue.
Yes.
It's a very good introduction.
Yeah, there you go. I think that I was going to say Ned Stark. Well, that would also work, Kilobyte. That would also work too. All right, so I'm going to leave it over to you folks. And someone said, I think it might have been Lauren said when she first joined, that this sounds like being in the spa. This music, that music is about to change depending on how things happen.
I was gonna say.
So you are staring right now at So we'll deal with Tawny Bear and Belgo booking out of the clearing in just a minute. But before we get to that, you Robar are on the edge of the wall. You Rosie are, I believe.
I Homer Simpsoned into the brush.
That's right. So you're up here. That's right. Yes, you're over here. And then we've got, of course, Inga, who is hanging on the wall, halfway up it, somewhat collected in webbing. And we've got Baldur himself, who's up there, fully covered in web. So I will now put it over to you guys as to what you guys would like to do. So far, there is movement, and you can see spiders, but there aren't actually spiders heading over this direction as of yet.
Oh, good.
I got my bow kind of ready, I believe.
Yeah.
And I am I've got the most expressive eyebrows in the world. One thing I might not have noted about Robar. And I'm kind of giving a series of signals and messages purely via eyebrows. It's basically Morse code with my eyebrows, which I'm performing.
Please tell me your character looks like The Rock. Because the eyebrows.
Basically, what Robar wants to kind of signal is like, get over here.
Get over here.
Thank you for the host, BB. Okay, well, all right, so we have a little bit of a sense of that. Rosie, are you just remaining in hiding, or is there something particular you're going to... I know what Robar is readying his action to do, but what do you wish to ready your action to do?
Who are you signaling at, Robar?
Let me see. Probably to... Is that Inga there? Yeah.
Yes, I'm the one stuck on the wall.
Yeah, Inga's stuck on the wall. Probably both of you, I guess. So just everyone kind of come hither.
Okay. I just
Also,
very confused.
Before I forget, I am still inspired by Kilobyte from last time. I haven't used that one yet.
Which is evident from the way that you're hanging on the wall. You're very inspired.
Very inspired.
Okay.
I will sneakily make my way over to Robar because I don't read eyebrow.
Okay. So you're going to sneakily make your way
My first
over.
language.
Okay, so go ahead and make a stealth check for me, please, as you're making your way over Rosie, and then I'm going to talk to Inga about what she wants to do.
19.
Okay. Yeah, so you're able to make your way without too much difficulty over to him. Are you getting behind the wall where he is? Or are you melting into the hedge over here? What are you doing?
I like the hedge. Hedges are fun.
Okay. So you're now over there, and you can probably whisper across that range to him if you wish to do so.
And I'll also take out my bow, which is also cool.
Okay.
So I'll take
Which
that
is
out.
also cool.
Just saying.
Okay. Inga, what are you doing?
I don't see any spiders yet, right?
You do not.
Do I hear them?
You do not. You feel the web moving, but it's not clear if that's because of Baldur, who is, still struggling, or whether it's just, the leftover momentum from you having been climbing up the wall. But you do feel the web moving a little bit, but you don't hear anything as of yet.
Are my arms still free? I think I'm not completely stuck. It was like an arm and the leg are stuck
correct.
or something, right?
That's correct. You still have a little bit of right. You're not completely. wrapped up.
How far is Belgor away?
He at this point is probably about. I think these squares are 5 feet, so we're talking about 5 feet. So we're talking about 10 feet maybe from you. He's up a little bit though, so maybe
that's a few meters, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yes. Let's say he's 15 feet, which would make him. I think a meter is a meter 3 feet, I believe. So it'd make him about 5 meters
right.
away. If I'm a little less than 5 meters, if
I can't reach him even with my axe. Okay.
How?
So I attempt to cut myself loose.
Okay.
If I can do that with my axe.
You can. Yes, you can make an effort to try to do that. So let's see if you're able to. How we're able to do that. Okay. Try. So I'll take here either a dexterity check or I'll take a strength check. If you have sleight of hand or athletics, that's dexterity.
I
and strength
do have
respectively.
athletics.
So you're going to try to cut through using your strength. Then you can do that. This is pretty tough webbing. Learn metric. I did.
No, shan't.
Okay.
2080.
So the big
18.
20. Okay, so yeah, you're able to cut through. So you were able to cut through the rope and cut through the web, and you're able to do so fairly effectively, actually, where you sort of have your hand on one side of the wall before you can sort of fall, because you're, at least 10, 12 feet up at this point.
Well, I'm not trying to fall. I try to keep on climbing.
I was assuming as much.
Yeah.
Yes, I was assuming as much. Okay. So you're still crawling your way up towards Baldur. Okay, Robar and Rosie, you guys can see that Inga has now cut herself free and is trying to make her way back up. And right now, both it's not clear that Inga sees them, but certainly Robar and Rosie can see these spiders that are stirring. Again, they have not moved towards the pile yet, but you can see them kind of skittering about a little bit over in this direction.
I try to wave to get her attention.
Does she get? Do I get her attention?
Make a perception check for me.
Okay.
Let's see if you do.
Where is it?
Very energetic.
Oh, 10.
Let's see. I don't think you do. You were rather focused on trying to get up to Baldur, I would say. Thank you for the follow, Torleen. You're focused on trying to get up to Baldur, so you don't see the frantic waving of your companions. However, let's find out if other creatures with eyes see the frantic waving of your companions.
Bush.
Yes, lure them away from me.
Let's see.
Good plan.
Let's see if they do.
Stealthily signaling.
They don't. You're stealthily signaling from the
Yes.
hedge.
Yep.
Part of the problem is the more likely it is that she can see it, the more likely it is they can see it.
Damn
But as
it.
it turns out, they didn't see it either. Or
Yay.
at least they don't seem to have. They continue to chitter silently.
Gross.
Robar, thoughts about what you want to try to do?
Yeah. Okay. Is it possible? Robar has a genius plan.
Uh-oh.
To like maybe shoot like a flaming arrow like behind them, and oh my god, spider distraction. Inga's out.
And maybe set the nets on fire. I'm climbing in around. Yes.
Yes, set her on fire.
That is possible, yes.
Do the
Now,
classic
it's
throw a
also,
rock
it is
throw.
possible that it could also set webs on fire depending on where the arrow lands, but the better the shot, the less likely that's going to happen. Yes,
I'm
that's
a
possible.
fantastic shot.
Oh,
Hello, Calamity.
oh
right.
boy.
Famous last words.
I have a +4 to shooting. So, yeah, I think my plan would. In fact, Rosie, are you a better shot than me?
Maybe.
Oh, no. Didn't you try and shoot some peacock? No, that was.
No,
it.
that was Inga.
Yeah, okay.
It
Okay,
was the
so-
peacock.
So say, we need to cause a distraction like fire and flaming arrow behind them. Have you got a better shot than me from here?
I don't know. Let me see. Let's see. Maybe.
Okay.
That's what I know. Maybe.
Maybe we should both give it a go.
Ooh,
Double the odds of
yeah.
things going well and wrong.
Yeah. I feel like it'll go pretty well, possibly.
let's sort of go.
All right.
Okay. Go ahead and make that roll then, Robar. Robar's doing this, not Rosie, or Rosie's doing it also?
We're both doing
You're both doing it, okay.
Go.
So go, I'll let either one of you take your rolls. Are you trying to fire simultaneously, I'm going to assume?
Yeah, I guess we
Yeah.
kind of
Okay.
do that time.
Yeah.
So go ahead and, so in that case, I'll let you both make them.
No.
That's unfortunate.
Oh.
Let's see how Rosie does. So,
Never ever make fun
That
of my
is
shooting skills.
beautiful.
wow. Okay, so you sight. So what happens is you sort of sight along the bow. You're ready. You lift it up dramatically, right? And then, unfortunately, the arrows basically bump into each other on the way through. So they go, and they go flying off here into the hedges, and they end up landing about here, where they begin to smolder and burn. And you hear this. And you hear this chittering, and you begin to see spiders are starting to move over in that direction. Inga, you see the hedges beginning to smolder, and you catch a glimpse for just a moment, as presuming you look over your shoulder to see what the hell just happened, because you hear the
Well,
sound.
yeah.
You see a rather sheepish-looking Rosie a second before she ducks out of sight again, behind a bush. So we get some flame here. Let's see.
You remember those like 5 natural 20s from yesterday, Will? This is what they result in.
Oh
These are the
God.
wages of is
Yeah.
that what this is?
Yep. I sacrificed other characters to my other.
I would like to once again raise the question of what happens if a character dies.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Okay. So I'm going to go back to Trendy, and then I'm going to ask for initiative from everybody. But let's go back to Tawny Bear first. So Tawny Bear, Belgo is bolting out of the clearing at the sound of, hearing just he apparently cannot contain himself anymore. What do you want to do?
Well, like I said, not last week.
A few weeks before. Yeah.
What year was it that we played this game?
A couple weeks ago.
Okay. He took off and I took off after him. Do you mind? We are playing an RPG here. They're gonna have to get some quieter garbage trucks. Where was I? California. Okay. Right. So I took off after him, and that's kind of
The
where
boy ran off, right?
Yeah, but I took off after him.
Okay.
So I guess I'm trying to catch up to him.
Okay. So he is blundering through the forest, sort of shouting, sobbing. Definitely not quietly. I think it's fair to say. And you are sort of bolting after him. Let's have you make an athletics check for me, please. Let's see if you can actually catch up to him.
Okay. Athletics. 14.
All right. Let's see how he does in this epic
82.
race. Not as well. All right. So you are, in fact, able to catch up to him. And you may remember that you were not, you were in the clearing. It was probably about a good 10-minute run. So I would say probably that you had managed to catch him just before you reached the stream. So you sort of, now when you reach him, are you tackling him? What are you trying to do to stop him?
No, I think...
Tackle him.
Are we getting the understaff sweep the leg moment? Or what are you doing?
No, I'm actually thinking that Tawny Bear's just going to scoop him up on the way by, and like in passing, just scoop him up and then gradually try to slow down. But I'm just picturing Tawny Bear with his hands around this kid's rib cage.
Right. Now, here's the deal with that. You can do that. Hey, what's up, Ton? I didn't actually see the introduction, Ton, for some reason. I think I was too busy trying to deal with chat and multiple other problems. So I don't know, maybe repost it or something like that. I do always love your intros. So the deal with this is that when you grab him, Tawny Bear, you are
that
literally...
Ton, not Tawny Bear. Okay, sorry, go.
Sorry, you're only a couple of feet from the stream. So if you're going to grab him and continue in your momentum, which might be the safest thing, I'm going to ask you basically to make a check to see if you can jump the stream with him. Yeah, more or less. So I'm going to ask you to do that. Now, the thing is, although he is a boy, it is more weight than you would have normally. So I'm going to do this at a -1 to make this athletics check. So let's see if you can actually get across there.
You have +1 boy in your inventory.
Yeah, +1 boy, exactly.
12.
Okay. Let's see. So you make this. You grab him up and then leap up, right over the stream and just clear it on the other side. Now I need you to make an acrobatics check if you have it, or just dexterity, to see if you can actually avoid from falling backwards, because you have landed on the other side like not so optimal. So you're kind of like and you start to struggle back. Let's see what he's gonna do. Okay, as it happens, this actually works out better.
How many times are you guys gonna go up and down the street?
We can barely hear that, Trent, so I think you're okay.
I know.
I can't hear it at all.
So he actually pitches forward while you're in the midst of struggling backwards. So he actually falls face forward in the mud just north of the stream. So you're kind of like, wow, which is good, because otherwise you guys would have both fallen backwards, and that would have brought this campaign in a very different direction. So he pitches face forward into the mud, and then kind of looks back up at you. You can see his eyes are kind of wide, and he's like, just sort of staring up at you as you look down at him.
So we continue then.
Yes,
okay.
but he's staring at you right now.
Okay, so still holding on, at least with one hand.
Yes, basically one hand
on the shoulder. It's like, I appreciate that you aren't very worried about your father, but you must be quiet.
Okay. So in the distance, Robar and Rosie, you guys hear in the distance is "Be quiet, quiet, quiet," like what sounds like Tawny Bear's voice, actually.
Shit.
It's a very loud quiet. I think Tawny Bear's there.
It did kind of sound like that, although it's now starting to get a little overridden by the crackling of the flames, which are beginning to grow. There must be something about you and forest, Trend. You notice every time you're in a forest in D&D, it ends up being caught on fire.
Yes.
What's that?
With spiders. With spiders.
With spiders. Yeah, that's right. It's always involved. All right. So he sort of stares at you, and at this point, I'm going to ask everybody to roll initiative for me, please.
Cute.
How do you do that?
Don't forget to touch your token, which I'm not on the screen, so I can't do.
Yes.
And I'm going to pop up a little bit of.
What token?
Touch my token now. 7. Well.
All right, let's get ourselves some. All right, I will take more of that in a minute.
So we get a little Wario action.
All right.
Big 12.
Do some sound here. That's what I'm talking about. As always, the great Kevin MacLeod.
Of the Clan MacLeod?
Of the Clan MacLeods. You cannot die,
There can be only one.
Okay. How's that sound-wise in Roll20? Too loud?
I can't hear it. I have it turned down completely.
We can up it ourselves.
Yeah, we got control.
Okay. Chat, could you guys hear that? That was good. That was good, Vilacious Ton. I have some battle music going on now. I want to make sure people can hear.
Spooter battle.
Oh, there's music. I had the game music muted.
Okay. Exotic Battle by Kevin MacLeod is the actual name of this, in case anybody cares. Okay. So we have got those three, and
I like it.
I will need. I'll need an initiative from you too, Tawny.
I will need a token on screen in order to put it into the.
Oh, that's right. You were because you were not here.
Tractor. I'll need a token on screen to be able to put it into the tractor.
Yep.
All right.
I understood every word of that, of course.
Yeah.
That's
9,
why
you can't really hear it? Okay. Give me a second. I will.
That's why the video I sent you in Discord last night, I made sure I sent you the German version.
Oh, do they have really thick accents in the original?
No, they're not that bad. It's just Chimaran, but
I do watch English TV and movies regularly. Like in some cases, I refuse to watch the dubbed versions. In most cases, actually.
That's why this happened, because I've got that way.
I found it highly amusing to see the guys or hear the German voices they used for the guys who were dressed up as the village people.
Yes, I can see why. That's the thing here.
Oh man.
There we go. Okay, there's that. Now that should be better placed. There's Tawny Bear. Lovely. Okay. Let me get you guys up here. Okay.
Now it's banging.
True. Now it's banging? Good. All right. So let's see what we got. Let me give a quick check here. We should have, let's see. Tawny Bear, how am I doing on hit points here? What do you have? What out of what?
8 out of 8.
Okay. And we got a 12 for you. Is that what I read?
What?
Hmm?
Is that did I read you got a 12, no, a 7 for Tawny Bear, I'm sorry.
8 out of 8.
Right, no,
Oh,
the
7 for
initiative, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Robar, hit points, please.
Oh goodness, good question. My hit points are 11.
Okay, and you have got, is that, I don't have names in here yet. Is that 12?
I rolled a 7
7.
on my initiative.
What is your raw,
plus
what's your raw
2.
dex score?
Yeah, my dex bonus is +2. I think Tawny Bear's is +1, so.
Okay. Lovely. Okay. Let's see. Rosie, how we doing on hit points?
My hit points are 8 of 8. My initiative's 12.
I'm feeling very confident.
Sorry, no. 10 of 10. I forgot I'm a rogue. Shit. 10 of 10. For my hit points.
Of 10. Okay. And Inga, what are we at?
11 from 11, and I rolled an 8 for initiative.
Okay. All right. And then we got this. Lovely.
This music has kind of like an old, real-time strategy
I got a
soundtrack
RuneScape
vibe to
from
it.
Yeah.
You got a what vibe from it?
A RuneScape. Did you ever play that game?
Yeah.
That was hopping when I was a kid.
A little bit of that. That still has an audience, which is
was a year
amazing
ago.
to me because it's not exactly. It's a little dated at this point, but
Oh yeah, I have a friend of mine. He's a full-time RuneScape streamer. Like it's his job.
that's all. Really?
He's been doing it for 5 years. Yeah,
Oh my god,
absolutely insane.
that's what I thought. Okay, lovely. Right. Okay. All right. Let's get moving here. So, the first thing that you all notice is there is a sort of louder skittering and chittering, and you notice Rosie and Robar. Actually, Robar and Rosie both make perception checks for me, please.
My perception is 15.
Okay. How are we doing on that, Rosie?
10.
10. Robar, you don't see this, Rosie. You just see sort of a bunch of movement and skittering in the spiders. But Robar, you notice with your practiced tactical eye that the spiders seem to be moving out of the way as if clearing the room for something else. You don't know what that means, but they seem to be sort of shifting left and right and almost parting a bit.
Oh,
good.
that's a bad sign.
Okay, Rosie, you're up next. What do you want to do?
Okay, what I would like to do, because I see Inga is still trying to get, what the hell, Baldur. I would like to try to shoot at the webbing to get him down.
Okay.
To just loosen it so that she has an easier time.
Okay, sounds good. Okay. All right, so I'll allow you to do that. If you're going to aim at the webbing, that's going to be a fairly difficult shot, so you know, because you're trying to obviously do this without hitting him.
Right.
And you're trying to hit the strands. So I'll let you do it, but it's going to be probably at a -2, because you have to be able to aim from where you are. Are you trying to avoid being seen as you do this?
Ideally, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so it'll just be +3 then.
Thank you for the follow, Boogie
Nice!
Francis. Okay. Wow, check that out.
Yes.
All right. So with practiced skill, remembering your time as a young hobbit child when you used to practice pretending that you were doing awesome things and fighting monsters, not unlike this, you loose your bow and the arrow goes, and it actually takes out one of the large strands that was holding Baldur to the wall. So he now is kind of like swinging back and forth. Now, as he swings, the thing is also turning, so it's like like landing against the wall. And Inga, you were able to see that. You actually saw more or less where it came from. So you see coming from roughly where Rosie's position had been when you had seen her before. So, all right.
But I ducked down.
Yeah, exactly. I assumed as much. Inga, you were up next.
Well, first of all, I would like to point out how the flames that you drew look like a death metal band logo.
Well, that's kind of those are from my death metal band days. So
nice. And yeah, I keep on climbing, basically. Try to get as close to Baldur as possible.
Okay. You probably will be able to reach him this turn, or at least reach the part that's bobbing back and forth. So now you have a couple of, in fact, I would say that you do reach him. So you have a couple things you could try to do with him. He's now hanging from one large, strong strand. You could cut him, but he's pretty far. I mean, this is a good 20 feet above the ground, 25 feet above the ground. So if you dropped him, obviously he doesn't have anything way to stop his fall. He's going to hit pretty hard. So you could let him drop, or you could pull him up onto the wall, or you could try to, cut all the webs from around him loose, but that's going to take a while. So
okay, so then I'm gonna climb above him on the wall and try to pull him up.
Okay. So you're going to go straight up then to do that, like straight up the wall as opposed to diagonally over to him. I just want to make sure I'm clear.
If I imagine the wall correctly now, then yes. But before I climb on the wall, I peek over it to see if anything dangerous is there.
Well, interesting you should mention that.
I'm genre savvy.
Yes. As you peek over the wall, as I mentioned, these things were starting to part over to the side, and you see one of them considerably larger, but there's a difference to this also. This thing is large. You would say that this spider, now all the spiders here are larger than normal, obviously, considerably larger than normal, but this one is probably, if the others are a size of if the other spiders are like the size of beagles all the way up to golden retrievers, this is the size of a Great Dane. This is a large spider and is making its way slowly and wickedly. You almost see its various legs kind of chittering almost quietly as it makes its way, clearly affected by whatever clamor has been happening here towards Baldur and the rest of you guys. So you can see it making its way there.
These are just dog-sized?
The other spider, the giant spiders, are mostly dog-sized. This thing is much larger than that.
Oh, I thought we were talking car-sized.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
No, remember the giant spiders. I mean, think about a normal spider. A giant spider that is dog-sized would be those are huge as it is.
Well,
it's not the body dog size, or it's legs and everything dog size? Because if like the body's dog size, the legs could be like.
Or the legs are longer, yes. The legs are longer than the rest of the body, if that's what you mean. So if you put that together, they might be more like a pony if you were to add the leg into it.
Right.
Okay,
But the body itself, yeah.
Yep. They sound adorable. You want to squish up their little face.
We're not talking Ungoliant size. No, if they ran into Ungoliant size, the campaign would
It
have
would
ended.
already be dead.
It would already be dead. Yeah,
What is Ungoliant?
She is the spawn from which they all came.
She is Shelob's mom, so to speak.
Oh, okay.
She's a really bad mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Inga, you're able to, if you wish, you can get up onto the wall here if you wish to. Now, right now, the attention of the spider, which looks really, really huge. In fact, make a nature check for me, please, Inga. Let's see if you know exactly what this thing is. Hey, JLC.
19. Ah,
You're pretty sure that this is something which you heard tell of before. More than a spider, this is an addercop. Addercop are particularly nasty. They like to hang out with other spiders. They're sort of like the alpha wolf, right? They like to dominate other spiders. And usually when one of them shows up, first of all, there's usually more than one eventually, but when one of them shows up, they tend to be, if spiders have any kind of leadership structure, the addercops are the ones who would be in the structure, who would be the leaders here. So this is a pretty good sized thing, and you're pretty sure that's an addercop. So the addercop's attention seems to be focused on the webbed body, which is now, as I said, waving crazily on the remaining web strand, banging into the wall. So you could pull yourself up on top of the wall. It seems to be paying attention to Baldur, not the wall at the moment, but obviously that could change.
okay, so what I'm doing is that I pull myself up, but I stay like down on the wall. I don't stand on it. I lie down, basically, hoping that the spider.
So you pull up and go
won't see
prone,
me.
basically. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Noted. Okay, Robar, you are up. You've seen much of this transpire, but you have not yet seen this addercop-like thing. You've just seen the other spiders part out of the way, as I described.
Big boss,
Yeah.
you leave this chap right now.
Get out of here.
Oh, jeez, big boss.
All right, so I'm in cover. I will lay down some covering fire and try and shoot this spooder here to redeem myself for my previous misdeeds.
Okay. Go ahead and fire. I think you should be able to get a shot on that. Now, to get real line of sight on this, you're going to have to move over to here, I would say. If you just slide around the wall, you're going to have the bushes there. But you could jump in front here if you wished.
Yeah, let's jump here-ish. Let's take a move.
Okay.
And fire on those guys.
Go ahead.
An
And
80,
do it. That will hit.
which does 5 damage.
Okay. This looks very badly hurt. Like it hits right in the middle of its body, as if you had, something hitting like a football, and it kind of, staggers back, chittering madly. And now all the spiders here seem to be agitated. You can see that they're all kind of moving in this direction. This thing sort of staggers backwards. The others are maybe starting to move forwards now. So you have attracted their attention for sure.
Get out of there, Inga!
Okay.
And I'll try and make myself a big kind of target for them to come over towards me.
Okay. All right. Tana Bear, make a perception check for me, please.
Okay.
Wait, you just shouted at me to get out of there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Even though the spiders probably don't know that I'm there?
Well, they don't understand me. The dog spiders, they're not like, wait a minute, did he say someone's over there?
They're not like eating.
Well,
they're
I
not like
never-
they're not eating spiders, right? They're not.
Right, yeah.
They're not good Oxford men. All right.
Oxbridge spiders.
Yeah. Okay. So Tana Bear, you think you are beginning to hear in the distance a kind of a crackling sound, like as if wood is cracking and creaking somehow.
Or someone is trying to escape bubble wrap.
That
Yes.
could be something like that as well.
Yeah.
And the reason I bring that up is because it is your turn. So.
Well, I only have a movement of 30 feet, and these squares are 5 feet. Yeah, 5
Yep.
feet each. So I think I could probably move about here.
Right, so you're not quite at the edge of the clearing yet. You are some distance from it, but if you book it, like more or less if you grab Belgo and double moved it, you could probably get there in a couple of rounds if all goes well. If you want to do that.
or just take him back to the.
Well, I mean, I want to make sure that you
tie him up and sit down.
Yeah. Don't ever move again. You're also on the other side of the stream now. Getting back to the other side is not going to be a easy proposition unless you chuck him first.
So, if I booked it, hearing this crackling and recognizing it probably as fire, fire in forests. When your friends went running this direction,
it does seem to be a cause and effect situation. Yes.
Yeah.
They disappeared. Suddenly there's screaming, and the next thing you hear is crackling. Yeah.
Yeah. So probably got him tucked up under my arm like a loaf of bread and hauling ass.
Okay.
Double dash this way.
Okay. Sounds
so
like
wherever that would put me.
Okay. I'm going to say you're not there yet, but I am now noting that you are making that attempt. Okay.
Then I will hide myself here in the corner until such time as I arrive.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Okay. Back up to the top of the round. So this one now, Inga, scatters over to Baldur. Now the picture's a little bit inaccurate because this Baldur is now, as I said, sort of moving on the wall. So the Addercop is like over the wall looking down. Like, looking over the wall down at the thing with its legs moving. And you can see that it seems to be winding some webs together as if it's going to try to get something to reattach Baldur to the wall. Like, basically pull it back up is what you see. It does not seem to have noticed you yet. Thank you for the follow, by the way, for whoever that was that I just missed. I apologize.
Person who followed.
Person who just followed, thank you.
That was Christian3567.
Thank you, Christian3567. Welcome to the Argonauts. He is, the creature is doing that right now. Again, does not seem to have noticed anyone. It seems to be focused downwards. Meanwhile, these things move forward. They're still not moving at full speed. They're trying to clearly get a sense of what the hell's going on. So you can actually see, Inga, that some of them are starting to crawl up the wall. They, again, seem to be all focused on Baldur at the moment. Okay, Rosie, you were up.
Yeah.
Oh, and also the fire. Let me just
right.
And also and by
fire.
the way, also fire.
Fire.
Fire getting more pronounced, starting to crawl over your way a bit. This is all very professional artwork, guys. I've taught Terry
very
some.
much approve.
I've taught Terry some techniques, and
competition.
I learned from the best.
It's like Bob Ross.
yeah, happy little fire over here. Happy little fire. I'm the reverse Bob Ross. Like I destroy trees. Okay. Die. All right, Rosie.
Does
Nice.
Inga have Baldur or no?
I'm above him.
Correct. Inga's on the wall. She's about probably 10 feet. She could now crawl over to Baldur if she wanted. The Addercop is also over Baldur. Although you guys don't know yet that it's an Addercop. Actually, now that you can see it, go ahead and make nature checks for me, Robar and Rosie, please. Let's see if you know what the hell this big thing is.
Okay.
How is that relevant, by the way?
That it's an Addercop? The fact that okay, neither of you know what the hell it is. That is that's a big ass spider. That is a big spider.
Well, what do I do with that information?
The fact that it's there indicates two things to you. Number one, Addercops don't usually show up just as a part of the natural course of events. Like for them to show up indicates that there is some darkness at work here. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is that they have a little more intelligence than your average spider. And so that is something else you need to be cognizant of.
And that they are not always alone.
Right. But I'm sure that's fine. So, Rosie, what do you want to do?
Oy vey. Oh, God. Okay. So, I guess... I think I want to go back and try to get the spider's attention away from this side. So what I'd like to do is try the initial plan and set fire behind them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're going to try to basically arc the arrow over them, more or less.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, I'm going to give you a penalty on this because you're trying to shoot over a group of them to a target behind them. But you can do that. You are going to have to leave your hiding place, though. You won't be able to do that from there. Now you could dart out and dart back if you like, but you are going to have to reveal yourself.
That's the plan.
Okay. So go ahead and dart out somewhere. that's probably fine. Okay. And go ahead and make an attack roll for me. Let's see how you do.
Okay.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
Yes.
How about that? All right. So, pew! Right, and
Where
falls
to go?
falls behind her. You know, she kind of rosy winks at you, Robar, as the arrow goes off, and lands behind them. And you can now start to see there's a little bit of smoldering coming from behind them. And from the creatures in front, it'll take them a minute to sort of react too much, but you can see that there's sort of like, they pause, right, and kind of look backwards. And all of the sort of little ones are kind of now a little bit confused. However, this one is like, hurt, and it looks up and sees you. And it's two of its front legs actually stop from winding up Baldur, and literally one of the legs, like, pushes him like against the wall, almost like angrily, and then sort of stretches out towards you, sort of skittering, and then you can see it looking down the wall as if it's trying to find a way to maybe climb down it.
And back into the brush.
Okay. Okay, Inga, you have seen all that happen. Definitely the spiders and the Anarchop are currently not paying attention to you.
Yeah, but the problem is that as soon as I pull Baldur up, they are gonna notice me, right?
Oh yeah.
Unclear. These are all difficulties that approach.
I mean, my first idea was to just shoot the other cat. But I don't know how smart that is. Like, especially now that they are all distracted.
In the
So,
long term, very smart. In the short term,
I do still have inspiration, so you know what? I'm gonna shoot the other cat because.
Okay.
Do I get a bonus or something since they are distracted or something?
You are not a rogue, so I'm gonna say no. Especially because it's somewhat balanced off by the fact that you're trying to do this on a webbed wall while, you know. So I'm gonna say you have a normal attack on this thing, that you can try to hit.
19.
Okay, that hits for sure.
Oh yeah, the damage roll, right.
just click the word short bow.
Yeah, I did. No, that was just in another attack roll. Wait, I have to figure out this.
No, in where it rolled. You got the 19 and 17.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
There we go.
There we go. An 8.
Nice.
Okay, solid hit. So lands into its the back fat body, and it sort of stumbles forward, catches itself on its web with one of its legs, and then looks up, like looking at you, and begins to pick its way. Now it sees you and begins to pick its way. And a couple of these spiders down here also now notice you, although not all of them. Their attention is now divided somewhat behind the fire and all that sort of thing. So they're definitely paying attention to that. Thank you for the follow. Shishish Hippinit. I think that's what that meant. Welcome to the Arvanauts. Okay, so he now has attention there. Are you staying where you are, Inga? Are you going to move anywhere, or are you going to stay in your spot?
They are on a different piece of wall, right? From what I can tell from the map, right? So if they wanted to get to me, they would have to jump or something, right?
Well, or they'd have to climb up that web. These things are fairly good at climbing webs, though. You know.
No, I grab my axe and wait, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Robar.
Like a defensive position.
You are now able to see all of this happening. So there's fire behind them, fire in front of them. You see the Addercop sort of looking up. It was looking at the wall. Now it's looking very definitively at Inga, who waits.
I can't help but feel somewhat responsible for that. I will try and distract it by shooting it.
Okay.
Directly at the Addercop.
Yep. Addercop.
Okay.
Yep.
Addercop or
Addercop. Attercop. Addercop, Addercop, won't you stop? Stop your spinning and look for me, Bilbo says.
Yeah, there's a song in the audio play that I mentioned the other time. Bilbo sings a song about the adder caps.
That's right.
There, yeah.
Does not quite hit. Shoots over its body. Kind of looks over at you for a minute. Its legs moving around, shifting, chittering at you. Does not seem to be distracted back to you. It seems to be continually focusing on Inga. I mean, it's not happy with you, I'm sure.
Sorry,
Good job distracting it, Rabar. I see what you did there with shooting over it.
It was a distracting fire.
It was good.
Why don't you just shoot it directly? Like
No, that doesn't. No,
That's not part of the plan.
that's not the plan.
Look, we Rangers, we know how to lay down distracting fire over many centuries.
I
and-
know how to miss when I want to. Okay.
Thank you for the follow, Pernicious Chronicles. Are you staying where you are, Robar? Or are you moving towards them, away?
I'll stay where I am. I'm happy.
Okay.
I'm feeling safe.
Tawny Bear, you are charging like nobody's business. You're not there yet, but you're pretty close.
I'm gonna show up after everything's over.
Ha! Oh, you got to burst through the forest and be like, "Oh yeah!" Can you
I
please?
had a character who did that a lot.
Really?
He would finally get to because his speed was so low. He would finally get to the engagement by the time everything was over. Every time.
Oh my god. Okay, so we're back up to the top. So this thing clambers over Baldur. It never really got the body resecured, so Baldur's body is just now stopped spinning, but it's still hanging there by the one thread, and it moves in on you, Inga. Let's see.
Uh-oh.
Let's see what we got here.
Oil gets naked.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you, but now all the pictures
just
and
crashed
stuff.
for me and everything was gone. Okay.
Okay.
So I am now Robar. You are Tawny Bear.
A 15 to hit your armor class, Terry.
I have no idea what just happened because you were gone.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, everyone died. No, no, that's not what happened.
escalated quickly.
The Addercop clambered over the body, next to the body of Baldur, and is now attacking you. And it lashes out with one of its legs, with one of its stingers, actually.
No.
Spiders don't have stingers.
Addercops do.
No.
God damn it.
So, wait. Well, I need to roll or something, or do I just get damage?
Oh, the cameras got fouled up. Thank you. I will solve that problem. You need to tell me what your armor class is, what you need to do.
Oh, my armor class. 12.
Okay, so that is going to hit, unfortunately for you.
Oh.
So I will address that. Hold on just a second as I get the cameras fixed. Give me just a moment. Alright, Inga is there.
Despite my Erebor crafted armor.
Yep, unfortunately. Okay.
So, since we're playing D&D, and I just saw the thing, there's this company that makes these candles that have either dice in them or these awesome coins that they have, like this one,
There we go.
which
Fixed.
which has a deer on it. They're very
Ooh.
cool. Anyway, they recently changed their names to Calliope Candleworks, and I noticed that they have one called Tavern of the Keep, and the description of it is it's a very cozy scent with notes of hot cider oak and cedarwood. I'm like, I want this.
Nice.
I want this.
Okay, so it lashes out and does hit you, Inga. You take only 2 points of damage from that. However, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
No.
Yeah.
Because it's a poisonous spider.
Addercop, please. Addercop.
Hey, you're a.
18.
Okay,
Come
so
at
you,
me.
Don't.
the Addercop is like, really? No. So you feel for a moment this kind of lethargy from where the thing stung you in the arm. You feel this lethargy beginning to spread over you, but then you manage to shake it off. You were a stout dwarf, you know the situation here, and you managed to shake it off. And the Addercop seems vaguely, chitters in a vaguely disappointed way. Okay, that's going to lead us to Rosie. You see now that your companion is being attacked. You
Yep.
see the spiders in a little bit of confusion, and you see Baldur bouncing against the wall just a little bit with hanging from that thread.
And how high off the ground is he?
Probably a good 20 feet.
Oh, Baldor. Okay, I will shoot the Addercop.
Okay.
I have to restrain myself
Hit.
not to sing Bilbo's song about the Attica.
And I
won't you
get sneak attack because she's engaged with it.
Definitely.
So the total damage then is 14.
Wow. You strike it so solidly, whooplow, that it actually topples off this the wall and lands all of its legs up. Apparently dead. I mean, you don't know what happened to it, but Inga certainly sees that it's dead. And so Rosie raining death from above. Rosie Death Burrows, I think is the new nickname here. Okay. Rosie, are you staying where you are? Oh, by the way, I should have asked you to do this first. You had to leap out of cover to do that.
Oh, totally. Totally.
Are you leaping back into cover?
Whee!
Okay. So, all right, Inga, that leads to you. Inga, as you are getting ready, you look and you see there are some more spiders beginning to rise up here. There are a lot more of them. Your guess is another 10, 12 down there that are starting to rise up. And you see kind of some movement that suggests there's another large something that's on its way.
No!
Okay. So here's my plan, and you can tell me whether or not I would think that's actually doable.
Okay.
And that would be to jump onto Baldur,
Okay.
Swing him over to one side of the wall, cut him loose, and then carry him down the wall. Can I do that?
That sounds awesome.
Realistically speaking.
I encourage awesome play. I do have to ask, what side of the wall are you talking about, though? Like, swing him. Can you show it on the
Well,
map?
I mean, if I hang onto him, I could just swing him in one direction I want, right? I mean,
you could, but like he's
Go
hanging
second.
at the corner almost. So in other words, you could swing him like around to where, presumably you don't want to swing him to where all the spiders are.
yeah.
So you would try to swing him to the right, basically, like over to, if you see me pinging on the map, like there.
Yes.
Okay.
To where I am.
Okay, you could probably do that, yes. It'll take you probably a round to get him swinging, so you could do that. Then you could try to cut him. It's going to be almost impossible, though, to do that, cut him, and then somehow carry him down. Like, you won't be able to do all of that. So, yeah, you could do some of it, not all of it.
Oh, but I could cut him out of the thing, right? Once I got him.
Once you got him down, yes.
No, I mean like once I got him on one side of the wall, basically. Or-
He's already on this side of the wall, though. I mean, like, if you swing him over to here, he's just going to be, you're just going to be swinging him left and right. In other words, the place where he's attached from is right here at this corner.
Okay. Well, I mean, the map makes it look like there's a piece of wall missing and he's like hanging between two walls.
Yeah, no, I know. It's not. He's
Okay.
really hanging from the
Okay.
corner of the
Okay,
wall.
in that case, I'm just gonna pull him up, I think,
Okay.
and try to cut him.
So go ahead and go over there and do a, let's see, do a strength check for me, please. I'll take athletics on this if you got it.
I do have athletics.
I will athletically take it. Okay.
16?
So you are, in fact, able to pull him up. So you pull him up and lay him on the wall, a bunch of spiders skittering behind you. And if you wish, I'll allow you to cut him loose as well. The original attack that Rosie made on that one web, that one strand actually was holding some of the other strands, so you can kind of see what looks like maybe the sickly green pallor of his face hanging within the web. He's still sort of conscious, like you can see his eyes kind of semi-open, but...
How I feel right now, then.
Yeah, basically he's like Trendane, but also stunned,
Green.
poisoned, and hanging from a web, but otherwise very similar.
He
scenario.
won't be able to run if we have to carry him. Like,
Yep.
He might
that's
be
the
able
thing.
to walk. You doubt he's going to be running anywhere, but you can try to
Yeah,
cut
no,
him
no,
loose
no.
in any case.
I would
talking
be
about
carrying
Trendane.
him.
So
I
next
mean,
turn,
I
if you-
am strong enough to carry him, right? I mean,
probably.
I'm a dwarf. I can carry anything.
Probably, you probably will be able to help him along at least.
Definitely.
So next turn, if you wish, I'll allow you to try to cut him and to start walking with him if he can move, assuming that's what you want to do. Yes.
Yes, that's
Okay.
what I want to do.
All right, Robar, you can see Inga doing this. You also see a lot of spiders, and you hear this flame is getting much more prominent, and is making its way over, and then this way, and then there's
That's a
also
bit close to Rosie.
this. Yep. Oops, sorry. Never
I
mind.
am the
One
fire
thing,
in
guys.
Mirkwood.
Okay, let me erase some of that.
We're like, Inga will be fine.
Yeah.
She'll be fine.
Fine.
Okay, let's
Totally fine.
let's do it.
I
that
got
way.
an adder cop off you now. Get down.
I'm fresh out of heroism. Okay.
I'm done. I
So-
did my part.
So what do you want to do, Robar?
Okay, I will run over to try and help her.
Okay.
Okay, now how am I with yeah.
So brave.
But you have to dash.
Okay. 5,
So get-
10, 15,
get over
20,
towards
25, You could probably, yeah. If you're doing that, you can probably. Okay. So you're now underneath her, and you can see that she's pulled up
Yeah.
Baldur onto the wall.
Yeah.
Thank you for the
Okay,
follow, Ariel.
is it such a distance that she could throw him down to me?
She could probably toss his webbed body down to you. Yes, you would. It's catching him would be interesting because this is a full-grown human male. I mean, you are strong enough, but it's about. I mean, the wall is like 25 feet up there, so
it might hurt.
it might hurt a little bit. This is
Yeah,
not the Princess Bride jumping into the arms of Andre the Giant. You know what I'm saying?
Boo.
Yeah, I say,
Yeah.
toss him down. And that'll be my turn.
Okay. All right. Tawny Bear, you arrive at the edge of the clearing, so you are now there, I would say. And as you were, so let's put you right there. And you can now hear very clearly the sound of what is very obviously fire. You also hear a very loud and raucous chittering sound from the other side of this castle wall. And you can see smoke rising from the other side of the wall also. There is clearly some agitation going on the other side, and Belgo, as he's in your arm, is like, "My dad! You have to help my dad!"
Yes.
Working on it, god damn it.
I
Okay.
can only move 30 feet per round. Shut up!
You know how double moves work in this game. Okay. So, next turn you will be able to actually act on this map, Tawny Bear. Okay.
3 rounds after that, I'll finally get.
Actually finally get there. I'm here. Okay. So, you hear, again, this sound, and as Inga, as you look down, you are rather horrified to see what looks like
Yes.
another one of these
No!
addercops crawling its way with relative speed towards the wall.
Adder cops. I don't know it, but I don't like it.
Okay. Alrighty. That leads us to, and these things now have decided they definitely don't want to be near the fire, so they are beginning to make their way forward. This way, most of them don't seem to be focusing now on the wall. They seem to be focusing on the party beyond the wall. But they are clearly moving in on you. And there's more down there also. You would, if you had to guess, Inga, you'd say there's 30, 40 of these things.
Holy.
I
Way
can
more
take
than-
all of these alone.
No.
Yeah, you're pretty confident you could not.
I'm here, and I'm rolling like shit right now.
Okay. Okay. Rosie, you're up.
Yeah. Okay. Are any close to Robar or Inga?
There's lots that are close to Inga, although you can't really see the ones that are on the other side of the wall. Probably the closest, and the Addercop is not visible to you yet.
Yeah.
These are the ones out front that are visible to you. You saw Robar sort of bolt across the clearing, and there's obviously fire, which is making its way in on you also.
Right. Okay. So none are like right up next to
Not
Robar.
right up next to them, no.
Okay. What then I would like to do is
Thank you for the follow, Rizzo Life.
I'd like to shoot more fire in front of these guys so that when they run, we have a little bit of deterrent on them.
Okay, so you're aiming like here-ish?
Yeah, not on top of Robar and Inga, but like to block like
Okay.
this path.
Be aware that the fire. So one of the reasons that the fire is working where it is back there is because
It's
of the
the
hedges and
brush.
bushes. This is
Yeah.
really pretty rocky, very low grass. So you don't
Okay.
know that you'd be able to set anything on fire. I mean, you could definitely fire an arrow there that would flame and smolder in that square, but you don't know that it's going to have the same spreading effect. I'm just letting you know.
Okay. Yeah. Then I will shoot. Then I will just shoot the one that is next to Robar, which is what? This guy. Where is this guy? This guy.
That guy? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds like a plan. Go ahead and do that.
19.
Wow. Okay, go ahead and roll your damage. Man, Rosie cannot miss today.
Don't say that.
See?
You jinxed it. You
I'm the
jinxed it.
DM. I don't jinx you guys.
10 points.
Okay. Yeah, that thing goes and is dead.
Yay!
And you hit it and it's dead. And these things are now. Oh, and again, go ahead. I keep forgetting to do this. Make sure that you move yourself out of the
Sure.
bush. Where
Right.
were you when you took that shot? Right there? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You're jumping back in again?
Whee!
These things definitely saw you.
Okay.
Clearly. They're now
then-
clearly got their attention focused on you.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Then I would probably move back. I've got a pretty good range. Just prepping to book it if I need to. So 25 feet puts me
Probably
like...
20 because you had to move out of the bush to take that
Oh,
shot.
right. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So that would put me about here.
Okay. Lovely. All right. Inga, you have managed to cut him loose now. You see Robar is at the bottom of the wall, yelled at you to toss him. Baldur does look mobile, but he's kind of like, he's like stunned and bruised and not all there. But he does look like he could theoretically stumble along. So you could try to push him down to Robar. If you wish, you could move him along the wall. What do you want to do? You also can see this Addercop, like, goggling up at you.
Okay, so the first thing I do is after I cut him out is that I grab him by the shoulder. Baldur, wake up! I'm gonna toss you down the wall, and like before he can do anything, I'm just gonna throw him towards.
Okay. You're gonna toss you on the wall. Whoa, what? Push. Okay. Well, he certainly won't be able to resist you. Okay. So let's see.
Nobody can resist me.
I'm going to ask you to make an athletics check to see how, whether you're able to, like, what direction you push him in, basically, if you're doing it the way you want to. So go ahead and make an athletics check first.
Whether or not I push him down the wrong side of the wall.
Right. Well, we're gonna see whether Robar can catch him. Wake up! Wake up! All right, here. Ah.
Oh God. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm gonna use my inspiration on this one if I
Okay.
may. So
I'll allow
19.
it this time. In the future, though, make sure that you let me know if you're using inspiration ahead of time, okay? Because you need to be able to roll both. I'll allow it this time. No, won't worry about
Okay,
it.
sorry.
That's okay.
I wasn't aware.
Now, because of that 19, you're like, I've done this many times. So you push him directly in the into the direction of the arms of the waiting Robar. Now, let's see if Robar is actually able to catch it on the other end. So, Robar, I need you to make an athletics check for me, if you got it, or strength, to see whether you catch this guy.
Be Rabar.
I am not strong. Yes, I am.
Yeah, so you managed to catch him. Whoa! It is just like Fezzik grabbing the princess. You're like, hello, lady. All right, so you grab him, and you now have his body. There are wisps of web around him, and he's like, like he's clearly not all there. These spiders like turn around and start looking towards you. So now you have his body. And it is your turn. Actually, it's Inga. You can now move. What do you want to do? And then I'm going to ask Robar what he does.
I'm gonna try climb down the wall.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna do.
All right. That sounds like a plan.
Get out of there!
Go ahead and make a athletics check for me again, please.
Like Inga is gonna have like such amazing muscle aching the next day.
Oh yeah, this is like for sure.
12.
So you were able to clamber down. You're like clamber. You get down about midway, and then you're like, I need you to make a saving throw for me. Let's make it a dex saving throw here to see if you can hold on. The web is sort of half broken away now with all the movement. Oh
Natural
wow!
20.
So you like parkour off the web. You're like, pow! You like land. You do the Avengers style land on the ground thing. You know.
3 points.
Yeah,
Oh,
3-point
yeah.
stance. Okay, so you are now down here, Inga. You're next to Robar. Robar is presumably suitably impressed. And I'm going to say that that's your turn. Robar, what are you doing? You now have a weary Baldur in your hands, in your arms, and a bunch of spiders after you.
I just start booking it.
Okay. Which way?
Good question. Away
Towards
from
the
the
spiders. They will never.
yeah, towards way.
It's like that line in Star Trek. It doesn't matter. Elsewhere. Like set a course for elsewhere.
I'm gonna head southwards.
Okay.
And can I move at full speed whilst I'm carrying this guy with me?
I'm not quite full speed. Let's say 2/3. So if you can move at 30, you can move at 20.
Yeah. All right, so move 20 feet.
You could double move though. I mean, if you're going to do that, you could go 20, 40. So.
I'll dash to it's about that square there then.
All right, go ahead and do it.
Sure, take me about here-ish. I'm just going. Follow me, Inga! Well, I'm not running with my hands. Otherwise, I'd be throwing them away. But yeah, I'm like,
follow me. You accidentally throw him over your shoulder.
Yeah. Right, we'll leave this guy and we'll raise his son not to do crap like this.
I can move so much faster without this guy.
The guy's a lost cause anyway. Come on. All right. All right. Sounds like a plan. So you do that. You bolt this way. Tanabear, you hear that sound. You just heard that. Follow me. You heard that coming from over this direction. And you also hear this crackling of flames. So where do you want to go?
Well, I guess I'll head toward the screaming and away from the fire.
Okay.
Because, that makes sense that that's where... And so doing a double dash and will get me 60 feet, which should get me about... we'll start here at 50.
Yep.
No, I need to switch tools. And then another 10 feet, which would be about here.
You can now see Robar, and you can see Robar carrying what looks like the previously webbed, stunned figure. You still have Belgo with you, I assume. So actually, I should say, let's cut that down a little bit, Tana. You're strong, but yeah, there you go. But you can still see him. And so Belgo, of course, is kind of like, Belgo hasn't seen it yet, but you can definitely see Baldur being held by Robar kind of limply as Robar runs along, yelling bloody murder. You also hear a chittering sound, and there's lots of webbing everywhere around you. Okay, so now the bad guys go. This one crawls up onto the wall. And let's see what it does. Up 10, 15 moves of speed. Climb 30. Okay, not quite. So this thing, this large Addercop looks like it's starting to head down towards you, Inga. It starts to make its way down the wall, chittering madly. These creatures are now moving very rapidly towards where they saw Rosie disappear. Okay, some of these have to climb up and over. Okay. Okay. And also, of course, we have more flame.
Flame.
More flame.
On the side of my head.
Flame. Do not flame.
Breathless, heaving, breath, heaving.
This fire makes a nice little connection here. They all meet up. They meet up. It's a very happy moment for the fire.
Happy
Yeah,
fire.
exactly. Happy fire. Shiny, happy fire, holding hands. Okay.
Flames.
So there's
the side of my face.
yes, there is a lot of burning and heat and light and all that going on now at this point.
Hey, light.
Okay, Rosie, you're up. What do you want to do? And Inga's on deck.
Why are we going that way?
Fire that way.
Oh, right. That was your fault, as I recall. Nope.
No, you shot my arrow, Miss Natural 20.
Okay, so the other Addercop is right on top of Inga.
Yes, that is correct. Crawling down the wall towards her.
Great. I will shoot it and then run.
Okay. Let's see if you can get it.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can get a shot in on it from where you are. You're gonna have to move. You're gonna have to move towards the fire to do that, Rosie. You got a wall in front of you at the moment.
Okay.
Now you could come right to the edge of the wall right here, and you could get in a shot on it and then book it the other way if you want.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Okay.
Okay. Because that's my friend Inga.
Go ahead and fire away.
14?
Ah, suddenly your multiple natural 20s have deserted you. That's a hit.
Oh, good. Jesus. Okay.
Just kidding.
Oh my god, terrifying. 12 points of damage.
Okay.
Nice.
Very, very nice, solid hit. So it is not
And then
dead, but it
okay.
definitely was hurt.
God, no.
I'll move the remainder of my movement
Okay, which direction?
towards everyone else, so should be able to get about here.
Okay. Alrighty. Sounds good. Inga, you have got. You see the tactical situation around you. You've been in better ones.
Are attacks of opportunity still a thing in 5th edition?
If you're booking it like this, not they are, but not where you are. You don't really have anything to worry about because the Addercop is more worried about getting down the wall. The spider's too far from you, so you could if
No,
you're just.
but there's one like on the right, above me. Basically.
Yeah, but no, that one is too far away from you. It's not that big, so it's it's.
So I
far
can
enough
run
away.
away without warning.
I would say so. Yes.
Okay, so then I'm just gonna run.
Okay.
Let's see how far I can run. Where does it say? Speed 25, so 25 feet, yes.
Yes, and you could double move it if you wish.
Okay, so then first I get about.
I love that measurement tool.
here-ish.
So cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's cool when it's properly scaled.
Yeah, it has to be scaled right. Yeah, I know. But we figured out how to do that the other day. It was very exciting. Okay. All right, you're there, and you can see Robar. You also see Robar sort of glancing off towards something or someone that you can't see past the wall.
I'm gonna shoot at the other cap, actually, from here. Like, try to. Our main directive is to protect Baldur. So that's.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm shooting the spider.
Okay.
Get him, girl. Get him.
Go ahead and fire
Eat
away.
him.
You're the
where is it?
spooter.
Oh god damn it.
Dang it, Inga.
Over his shoulder. You're no Rosie Burrows, quite obviously. Thank you for the follow, Cleric Bob.
No, you're your own special person with your own set of skills, and I respect you.
I didn't even see that miss happen, but I just feel that you
I
needed some
just
support.
want to tell you.
Okay, so unfortunately you miss. The Addercop is aware that you missed and is not very happy with you. Okay.
I'd be happier if she
But better after me than after Baldur.
That's very true. And yeah, I'd probably be more mad if it might be dead if she had hit actually. I'm not sure. It depends how much damage
But
it's
it's
done.
lucky stars and lean.
Rub it
Yeah,
in,
that's
will
true.
ya? Rub it in.
Okay, Robar. What now? You see
Very good question.
you do see Tawny Bear over here.
I will meet up back with him because he's a big boy, and I'm a little.
Carrying a
Uh,
little boy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I will kind of dash over here
Okay.
and breathlessly jog up to him as he's carrying a boy. I'm carrying.
Yeah,
the
you
dad.
guys are carrying his parent. The family is just carried by you. Thank you for the follow, Tutorian.
This whole family unit.
Okay.
And I would briefly say kind of fire forwards.
Okay. Tawny Bear, your
Broken.
appropriate
Where is
timing.
everyone else?
Dying. Running.
All right, hell with them then.
We have the
We
dad.
do all the hard work, Inga. They're just carrying some dudes.
So true.
Okay.
Oh, I guess it is my turn.
It is your turn. That's why I was asking. Yeah.
I was like,
I was like,
just
it's
wanted
your
a
turn.
response. Like, yeah, that's
So
right.
actually, the organization of this initiative has worked out really well.
It
You
worked
guys are
out
like, yeah.
So I'm gonna, basically, here's your father, and just drop Belgo and just take off. Regardless what Robar has said, I'm gonna take off this direction.
Okay.
Are you coming to my rescue? Yes.
Well, I'm coming at least over here to see what the hell is going on.
So you now see what the hell's going on. It is a lot of spiders. There is flame behind them, and there are a couple of huge. There's one huge creature I shouldn't say huge, very, very large creature that is now coming down the wall. Go ahead and make a nature check for me, Tawny Bear. Let's see if you know what the hell these things are.
Backlit by the fire.
Backlit by the fire. Yep.
Really impressive. 17.
Fan art. Yeah, you're pretty confident that what you're looking at there is an addercop, a large, particularly wicked type of spider that has rudimentary intelligence, is nasty, cunning at times, can be, and not a criminal mastermind, but it's definitely smarter than your average spider. There are a lot of spiders here coming at you.
Well, not what I wanted from this trip.
Okay.
Move!
All right. And speaking of the aforementioned addercops, okay, this is now down the wall. I get to use my little cool measurement tool now.
Yay!
All right.
No, boy.
Be able to get there. It's not going to quite get there because it had to get down the rest of the way on the wall. So I would say that it's about here.
Oh,
Let's see.
with an arrow sticking out of its
Yep.
face.
That's right. You'll be happy to know that this thing does not really have much of a ranged attack, and so it can't quite get to you. So it just skitters angrily at you, and all of these things are coming there as you go. And as this thing is heading towards you, you see a bunch more of these things come pouring over the wall.
Do you remember that scene in Starship Troopers where they look out over the top of the wall for Joe Smith? And it's
Yep.
That's
More or less the deal. Yeah. Okay. They are charging this direction. Okay. Rosie.
It's boring, but I can't see any of that. So I'm
Yep.
going to dash 50 feet and oh, look, it's Rabar and the other people.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hello. Did you shoot anything? I shot stuff. It was cool.
No, I saved lives.
Oh, that's cool.
I
No,
saved lives. Don't take them.
speaking of which, the other two are dead. Let's go.
While we're on the subject of lives.
But that's all I can do. So I'm done.
Okay. Let me move this up here, actually. It'll be a little bit easier. Okay. All right. That brings us to Inga.
Yeah, I'm just gonna turn around and run like
Okay.
as far as I can.
All right.
With,
Go ahead and do
panic
that.
on my face.
All right. Go ahead and move your. Yep. 25. And it's pretty. You know. I mean, it's a little bit uneven terrain, but it's not rough, so you can make it pretty much your full distance.
Okay, so that's one.
Inga!
Oh, hey, run! And I just run past them without stopping.
Okay. So go ahead and move your character the other 25.
Like I just jump dive into the bushes basically.
Okay. Are you now? That's going to slow you down. Are you going to jump in the bushes, or are you going to try to book it? Because it's up to you. The bushes will conceal you, but you'll move a lot slower.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. Alrighty. Let's see. Robar, you're up.
Let's see. We got most people out at this point, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll carry the dad and kind of run into the forest in that case.
Okay.
And I'll shout to Tawny Bear, like, let's all get out of here. And I'm going to book it towards Inga, I guess.
Okay.
Seeing as I believe our campfire was in that direction before. And our horse and stuff. So I guess I'll run almost off the map.
Okay. Go ahead and do that. You'll be a little bit short of that because you entered the bushes here, so probably let's put you like there. Okay.
Actually, you can stand right beside me, and I can help you carry the dead if you want.
The
Maybe
dead.
then-
Oh, the dead.
Dead. No, Dad. That was an A. That was an A.
Got a
That was
dead
an
boy
A.
here.
That was an A. Okay.
Yeah, I'll stand next to you and we'll carry them together.
Tawny Bear. Your companions are booking it the other direction.
What a pity. I will stand my ground. No.
I shall battle her.
Gonna head back this direction. Wait, no, I would have to stop and use an action to do that. It wouldn't stop them anyway.
Hi, Tawny Bear.
Yeah, hi, move.
Okay. So you were going to continue. Now you could double move it if you want. You can move again. It's up to you if you want to go.
I know. It just feels like no matter where we go, they're going to follow us. We're gonna have to deal with.
Well, you have them all on one side of you, so think of the positives.
Yeah.
No.
Could burn the brush behind them.
That's what I was gonna do. I was thinking about setting the bushes on fire over here, but they'll just they'll just go over the wall over the other thing. It's like, well,
it's funny that these guys are so conditioned by a lifetime of pop culture and game references to doing exactly this, that when you hear spider, just set everything on fire. Just put everything on fire completely. Just flames everywhere.
I'm gonna move a little bit further, not quite into the bush, but right up to it.
Okay. Alrighty, sounds like a plan. That brings us to the bad guys, and as you had predicted, they move like this.
Ah!
And this one is like, yeah, you can see it sort of like angrily, goggling at you as it runs, or skitters. Actually, what am I doing? I was about to bring all of them individually. How about I bring them as a group? How's this sound? Look.
There we go.
That's amazing. All right, yeah. Much, much better. Okay. All right, so it is booking its way towards you. Okay, Rosie.
And the kids by me, yeah.
Yes, and is sort of shell shocked would be the better way to put it.
Okay.
But it's not. He's not lying on the ground. He's mobile.
Great. Okay. I'm going to. I think we're hopefully a little better at moving through the brush, so I'm gonna grab Belga and run into the brush.
Okay. All right. So you managed to grab him and run into the brush. He doesn't really resist you. He just kind of stumbles after you. Thank you for the follow, Sean. Welcome to the Argonauts.
I can move a little further than them, even if it's half of.
Okay.
Whatever.
So now that you guys are on more or less on this side, since you're kind of running away from them, you now as you guys are entering the brush in the forest and trying to sort of book it as you can, because I assume that's what you guys are all doing, is continue to run as fast as you can through this. It is a terrifying sight, right? There is a whole host of these brown, hairy spiders that are scuttling after you. They're trying to web the top of the trees as you run. They leap from tree to tree. There are strands of sort of webbing, like these fishing lures. Baldur stumbles along like a man who is possessed by something, not himself. He's just sort of staggering forward, not even, eyes wide and staring. Belgo every so often says, Dad, but of course his father's paying no attention to him, and he's sort of running along with them behind them. And then, when it seems, to quote The Hobbit again, when it seems as if you could run no more, the Addercop and these spiders give it up, or at least they seem to. It's actually when you enter the clearing that you had stayed in before, where you will remember that it was a little bit lighter there, and it was a little bit more open. And to get there, by the way, you had to run across what was a much narrower portion of the stream, not really even on the path. You're kind of half running, through the brush to get there. But when you get back into the clearing, you notice that the spiders and the Addercop seem unwilling to cross into that area, and you can feel their sort of darkness falling behind you as you go farther and farther, and eventually an eerie silence sort of settles over the glade as
good timing on the music quitting too.
Yeah, as the creatures vanish into the darkness, and you guys are there, sort of breathing heavily back here in this clearing, and Baldur sort of stares up at all of you. Who are all of you?
You don't remember us?
I remember something about there was water. There was water, and and then the spiders and
Yeah.
and he
Did
kind
you
of
drink
looks,
the water?
he says, "Well, I hadn't intended to. I think I stumbled into the water and then Belgo, Dad, you remember me, Dad? I'm right here." And Baldur says, "You, who are you?" "Well, I'm your son, Dad." He says, my son, my son is too young. He couldn't travel. You're my son. And so you can sort of see them kind of sort of talking with each other a little bit. Baldur seems to, little faint remembrances seem to be coming back to him gradually. But Rosie, you in particular notice, because you spent so much time with him earlier on, that although Baldur seems to gradually be remembering parts of their trip here and there, that Belgo is not happy. This situation has really shaken him, and you can tell, even though that he's very, obviously happy that his father's back, but you can tell that his reactions now, he's constantly fingering at that amulet that I've talked about before, constantly sort of gripping it around his neck. In fact, his hand rarely leaves his neck now. And you can tell that he's occupied almost completely with, there's almost like a little bit of a shivering about him, you might say, as darkness descends gradually upon you all again. Not the darkness of shadow, but the darkness of night, as apparently the moon has set, now is beginning to set, as you're on the other side of midnight now, and moving towards possibly the daytime. What do you guys want to do?
I go ahead and give the boy a hug and tell him that he just needs to give his father some time, that he's under shock probably, and that he needs to be strong right now because we are still in a dangerous situation. So he must keep his nerves together, basically.
He says, all right, I'll do what I'll do. And he kind of trails off. He doesn't really even answer you. But he sort of, nods as if he's heard what you've had to say anyway. Okay, what about everybody else?
We need to get out of these damn forests as fast as possible.
Aye.
And no more drinking anything or eating anything that we
Right.
don't trust.
I told him. He didn't listen.
I think we had a group meeting about it.
I think there was a committee, yeah.
Yeah. At least a quorum.
Okay.
I'm gonna smoke my pipe.
I'm not coming after anyone else that goes running away.
Well, it is our job to protect these guys. So, yeah, but we should keep close tabs on them and make sure that nobody goes off on their own anywhere.
Would it be bad to tie their feet at night? Would that be a bad thing that bad people would do?
I suspect, yes.
Well, the thing is, when he got up at night to go grab a drink, he seemed normal. He just was like, yeah, I need to take a walk. I'm thirsty, so I gave him water. But
quick check. Are you guys having this conversation away from them? Or are you having this conversation where they can hear you?
Well, the boy went to the side, right? And the father
they're sort of chatting
out.
with each other, right? Exactly. But I didn't know if you wanted to move the party away a little bit to talk with them or not.
Getting anywhere away from those two.
Okay.
No,
All right.
it's probably not a good idea.
Okay. Just checking.
So no to the tying of the feet. I just wasn't sure. That's why I asked. I didn't just do it.
I think when we take watches, there should always be one of us watching them. Because they're unstable, to say the least.
I think for now it would be the best to pack everything up and move, and then
Well, yeah, we know this.
go as far as our legs carry us tonight, and then take a break.
Yeah, we need to get out of the spider area.
that would be this entire forest.
Right.
Well, true,
Well, if we get
but
back
away
to
from
the
these
path.
spiders specifically, because the other spiders, if there are more, which there probably are, don't know we're here yet, hopefully. So, yeah.
Right.
Does anyone look like they need healing?
Inga looks a little bit hurt. The rest of them look okay.
Just but a
looks
scratch.
Baldur looks stunned, but not not necessarily broken. It looks like he didn't necessarily have any major injuries that you can tell.
Do I think that I have any herbs which will assist with his recuperation from the poisons?
It's probably reasonable to say that you could give him some herbs that would allow you to maybe speed that along a little bit. Thank you for the follow, Plaid Biker. So yes, you could probably do that if you wish, yes.
I do.
Okay. And as he eats, you notice this takes several hours, but you notice his memory seems to gradually be returning to him. And he remembers more and more about having left. Eventually, he apologizes to all of you for, what had happened. But there's definitely kind of a... coldness is not quite the right word. A disconnection about him, let's put it that way, after this experience. In other words, he doesn't feel like he's all 100% back. And in particular, you notice now that Belgo and Baldur seem to be keeping their distance from each other a little bit. Belgo in particular, because remember, Belgo was very much about Dad and, wanting to hang out near him. That's not the case now. Belgo sort of is a little bit on the other side, and Baldur, for his part, doesn't seem to be reaching out to his son particularly.
I keep an eye on the boy and make sure that I walk beside him when I can.
At this point, I would like the guide, the person who would assign themselves as the guide, and I'm sorry to say that I don't have the text in front of me.
No, that's not me.
That was, I think it might have been Robar. I don't remember if it was.
Might have been me.
I don't remember.
But
Robar
Robar,
was the guide.
I think.
Yeah.
So what I need you to do for me is to roll a d8 for me, please. And let me see. I will then be applying some modifiers based on how things happened. Okay.
Got a 5.
Solid 5. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So. All right. As you are, this is the other end of, or one portion of the end of this part of the journey. So, in case anyone is curious, mechanically, this is an arrival. I normally won't say it quite this mechanically, but just to give people a sense of it. So, the experience that you have had as you prepare, you were aware of two things. Number one, that you have come as far as you have without grievous bodily harm as of yet, and you've managed to keep Baldur and Belgo alive to this point, and even kept their goods intact. But you're also simultaneously aware of how long the journey is that is left to go. And this presents you might say, with kind of mixed emotions that might exist otherwise. And so at the moment, you feel somewhat rested, but also there's some anticipation and nervousness that you feel as well at the same time. So that may or may not have impacts down the line, but it was something to sort of keep in mind here. The next day passes and you start your journey again down the path as you continue further into Mirkwood. With the exception of quite a bit of the smell of smoke, which there is a lot of now that was not there before. But with the exception of that, the smell of smoke, you don't really hear anything else in particular that seems specific to spiders. There is a little bit of maybe chittering here and there that happens, but nothing sort of particularly unusual. Let's get this. Let's get rid of this and let's turn on. Let's go with that. Okay. And as you're traveling, you definitely have that sense of that there was some disruption in the forest, but the noises that are there are not as loud as they were before. This seems to have quieted down a little bit. And it is sometime later that evening when you begin to notice what feels like a kind of, again, this gathering darkness, but not a shadow this time. And you feel several, I believe it's Tawny Bear who's in front, or Tawny Bear is in back. It's Robar who is, no, I'm sorry, Rosie's in front, Robar behind her.
Yeah.
I believe. Rosie,
I'm a scout.
you feel a couple of drops of water beginning to fall, and you begin to hear this like wind beginning to blow, essentially, above you, and you're pretty confident that there is a storm coming.
Question.
Yep.
While we were camping in between, did somebody take care of my arm wound?
They can if you wish. I believe the person who's got healing, people who are the healers of the party might be able to do something. That might be Tawny Bear, I think.
Why I was asking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's really loud. I'm sorry. Never mind that. Forget that.
What?
Sorry, chat. That's super loud.
What?
Never
What
mind.
happened?
Nothing happened. It's fine. You didn't hear anything.
No, I really didn't
No,
hear
we
anything.
didn't.
Okay, here we go. There we go. Now you should hear that a little bit, I think. Yeah, sorry, Shatter. Okay, so now you can hear the rain is starting to come down a little bit further. Yes, I would say that you can probably attend to that, to the healing of it. So, let me pop up.
I mean, it's not bad, but it should probably be taken care of.
Yep.
So that it can heal, probably.
I can
Yep.
just roll it right now.
Yeah, go ahead and roll it for
Thank
me.
you. That would be nice.
11 points.
Okay. That is...
Oh, sorry. Since I rolled an 11.
Okay.
11 points of
I was
healing.
gonna say, I was like, wow, you've never felt better.
12 points
okay.
of healing.
Nice.
12 points of healing, right. Okay,
I'm
yeah.
kidding. That's what it is.
Yeah, no, I know. So you are back up to your full complement of 11.
I
You,
hope so. I don't
yes,
think
you definitely
I
feel
had
better,
less
Inga.
than 12 points.
Yes. In
Should
fact, if
we
she were down more and
stop?
more 11 points, she'd be dead at this point, so that was
Yeah.
good stuff.
Should we stop now that it's raining or press forward?
I don't mind the rain, but I don't know about you.
I don't mind the rain either. Suits my card mode.
Okay, the horses probably will mind, though.
There are these large branches start to creak ominously. A couple of rotten boughs crack and tumble. You see Belgo, who again has been kind of keeping away from his father, but he sort of shies away. The thunder and lightning seems to be getting louder and louder as time goes on.
Yeah, we should probably set up camp and make sure that the ponies are tied down so that they won't run away due to the lightning and the thunder.
Yeah, I
Good
know.
idea.
As the lightning flashes, Rosie, you spot an unusual sight at some distance from the path. Up ahead of you, there is a huge, dead, hollow tree, and there is a thin plume of wood smoke, which seems to be rising from the top of the tree.
I pointed out to Rabar.
What is that up there?
It doesn't seem natural.
Not much in this forest does.
No.
Can I get a better look at that?
Sure, make a perception check for me, please.
Okay. Nat 20.
Hey.
Nice.
You see
nothing.
all. Exactly. You know nothing. You have found the Keebler elves. Yeah, exactly. Shatter, I will explain who these people are in just a moment. So you can see the same thing that I just described. The tree sort of in the distance, but you also see what looks like, again, you're too far, you'd have to get closer to it, but you can see what looks like, again, this is off the path, but there seems like a smaller dirt path leading from the one you guys are on over to this tree. And if you had to guess, you would say, thank you for the follow, Dubsmith. If you had to
If
guess...
I had to guess, I'd say thank you for following us, Smith.
Yeah,
Yep.
I would say thanks for the follow. That's what you have to guess. But if you had to guess, you would say, in all likelihood, that this path has been used fairly recently. It seems like the rain is making it a little bit difficult, but there's definitely movement in and around this path. To this tree.
Seems like there's this is like a common spot for creatures and people to go to. I don't trust big scary tree in dark forest though.
Maybe
Rosie, Robot, do you two want to go check it out while we stay with the men?
Sure. Come on, Robar.
I guess.
Okay, so you set off. Before we go on, let me just say that we're playing for about another 45 minutes, and for folks watching in chat, you're watching the Adventures in Middle-earth crew, which is represented by our good friend Trendane, Will from Encounter Roleplay, of course Terry Tunes, and Lauren Irwin, also from Encounter Roleplay fame. And all four of these wonderful people are playing in Day 4 of Wilderland Adventures. They just escaped a rather close encounter with an addercop and some spiders, and are now trying to get a merchant and his son and their goods through Mirkwood without dying in the process. And this is sponsored officially by Cubicle 7, and welcome to everybody. If you like what you've seen here, please follow and check out the various ways that you can support the stream down below. All right. So Rosie and Robar, you guys make your way over, and once you get closer to the tree, you can actually see that there is what looks like the dirt sort of sinks down. This tree, again, as I said, very dead and hollow, so the dirt has pulled away from the roots. And there are many little what looks like holes and hollows, but the path in particular leads to what looks like a larger hole, almost a tunnel, that runs between the roots into the interior of the tree, and the smoke is rising up directly through the center of it. This tree is very large. And the fire is not a, like the fire back in the forest. This is obviously a fire which is controlled in some way, like, for instance, a cooking fire or something like that.
Tunnel doesn't bode well to me.
Well, some do, I've heard. It might be a friendly fellow traveler, and we could say hi.
There aren't any friendly travelers.
We're friendly travelers, are we not?
I am not a friendly traveler.
Could you try to be? If we meet people, I mean.
Depends who they are.
Like, can you try, like, smiling?
Everything in this forest is trying to kill us so far. Or eat us.
Or both.
Or eat us and kill us. Or kill us and then
Kill
eat
us, then eat us.
I mean, that was just the spiders. The elves were nice, mostly.
Didn't trust them.
Okay. Well,
if there's something in that hole, it's not gonna be want to be friends with us. It's gonna want to eat us. Or at least...
Do you want to place a wager on that?
No.
What?
You can, by all means, you can go inside that tunnel and get yourself eaten if you want.
Well, that's not on my to-do list, no.
So you don't think that there's something scary in there?
I don't. What? Okay.
Well, then you will have no problem going inside.
Yeah.
All right, I'll see you in 5, and I head back to the group.
You notice
Maybe
the rain
keeping
and the
these two up
thunder.
was a bad idea.
The rain and the thunder is getting much worse.
Well, I will sneakily move up to the tunnel and maybe peek inside.
Okay, the tunnel, you can see a flickering light. The tunnel actually extends probably a good maybe 20, 25 feet down and then straight, Rosie. So you can see light flickering from down there. You'd have to go a little bit farther down and then straight down the tunnel to see. But there seems to be, maybe it's opening up into a room, you might guess. But you'd have to, you'd have to actually go down a little bit to see more clearly.
Do I hear anything from where I am besides the rain and such?
It's pretty hard with the rain, but there might be the crackling of a fire in there, maybe, but it's hard to tell. It's mostly just a lot of rain and thunder behind you. Thank you for the follow, Batani.
I believe in the good of the world, and I'm gonna...
You don't sound all that convinced, Billy.
That's Lauren talking.
Come
Lauren
in.
doesn't believe...
Everything good down there?
I haven't gone in yet, but I'm going to.
Are you actually shouting at each other?
No.
I'm right
We're
here!
just gone down the holes already.
No, he's right behind.
I'm being stealthy right now!
In that case, I'll have gone behind like a nearby tree.
Okay.
Alright. If I scream, will you please maybe help? That would be
if you scream, I'll definitely think about it.
okay.
This is a great team.
Sneak down the tunnel. Mhm. I'm so sneaky, my hoodie fell off.
It keeps happening.
Mhm.
Okay.
This
All
is
right.
my sneak
Make
shade.
a stealth check for me, please.
Oh dear.
26.
Wow.
Nice.
So you were able to make your way inside, and this is what you see. The entrance tunnel opens to this single round room, and the walls are apparently the dead wood of the tree. It's not as snug as a hobbit hole, Rosie. I mean, it's not hobbit quality, but it's better than the rain outside for sure. It is dry in here. There's a ring of stones in the middle of the room, and there's a small cooking fire burning there, with some hunks of meat that are cooking on a spit. There are other unidentifiable bits of meat, which are hanging from the ceiling on long black strings. And near the fire is a single, apparently a bed of leaves and furs, and there are jars and baskets that are sitting near the back of the room.
But there's no one in there?
There is nobody in there, and you need to go into the room to see more, but there doesn't seem to be anyone in there right now. Right, Chatter, right.
Giggity.
Exactly, Wolfstrike.
I will return to the entrance of the tunnel.
Okay.
I'm like standing right on top of it so she can't easily get out. You okay there?
Yes.
You're totally
I-
alive. Huh.
Yep. Totally.
What was in it?
Oh, let's see. There was a circle of stones with a fire, and there was some meat, and there was a bed, and there were jars and baskets.
I don't trust it.
It sounds like a campfire, Rabar. It sounds like a campfire.
How long?
You guys are now having a hard time hearing each other over the crashing of thunder.
How long had it been there? Is it a new campsite or an old one?
I don't know. It was going.
What was the fire lit?
Yeah.
Well, then someone's going
That's
home, aren't
what
they?
I was saying.
You didn't say that though.
That's what I was implying. Do you get it?
Right. So no one was down there.
Not that I saw, but I only poked my head in.
Or we'll go back down again.
What is
Meantime, the rest of us.
I was just
probably,
about to say this.
walking
I was
up
just
to
about to
some-
say this. Like Tawny Bear and Inga, what are you guys doing while these two are yelling at each other about going in or not?
Probably screaming at each other. What do you think's taking them so long?
I don't know.
Shall we go check it out?
I didn't want to walk in someone's home
Say
with
hi.
wet feet.
You're covered in dirt
Right,
and
it
mud at
would
this
be
point.
rude to track it into someone's very nice campsite.
Their house is made out of mud and dirt. They're not gonna mind. Just
It was very neat. There was
give them a
like,
shout, and if it's elves, we'll kill them.
No. All right, I go back in.
Okay, so inside you find the same thing that I described before. And if you're going all the way in now, and you get all to the way, it seems like it definitely is occupied, recently occupied. There is definitely some, what looks like maybe tracks, although that's a little bit obscured by your tracks, that are in there. There doesn't seem to be anything here. The only thing that seems a little bit odd is that there are these wood carvings and around the walls. You can't really make them out because it's sort of the flickering light. You would need to bring up like a lantern or a torch or something nearer to them to see. But there's a lot of these wood carvings that are not like, that have been done presumably by the inhabitants of this place or inhabitant. And the wood carvings seem rough, but there's a lot of them around on the wood on the outside. Otherwise, there's not a whole lot inside this very large hollow tree. Except what I've described before.
Alright, I'll...
Thunder is now, rain is just pounding on the ground.
Okay, I want to get a closer look at the wood carvings before I tell people to come in.
Okay. Bless you, Terry. Okay.
Thank you.
So, as you look, you see that there are the walls, these wood carvings all have these horrible faces and monsters of all sorts that have been roughly carved into the side of the wood. If you had to sort of figure out what this is, it almost looks like scenes from a nightmare, like someone carving what it was they were experiencing night after night, because it's all done in the same hand or the same style. It's the same person who seems to have carved these twisted images and pictures of something that are being there. You don't notice any in these scenes. You don't see any images of anything killing or hurting anything else. Just a lot of twisted faces and things like that.
I've had dreams like that.
I knew this place is gonna be weird.
You haven't seen it yet, Robar. This is Rosie
get out
doing
of
this.
Get out of here.
Robar's consciousness floats down.
I have no memory of this place. Okay.
All right, I'll head back up, and there are no other exits at all. Like it's just
Doesn't look like it, no.
street.
No.
Okay.
And even the entrance that's there is kind of naturally formed, so.
All right, I will go back up to Rabar and say, "Hey, there are some drawings of you down below."
Of me?
Yeah.
No. I don't like it, but we best take shelter from the rain. There's no one else down there.
No.
Alright, let's call the
Maybe
others up.
we should leave a note though on the outside to be like, "Hey, we're inside, but we're friendly travelers."
No.
No
Don't let
ambush
it-
here.
We don't let anyone know that we're inside. That's a bad idea, Rosie.
But then it's rude.
I don't really care. I mean, if someone walks by or, I don't know, spiders can read or other things around here, they see the people
Spiders
inside.
can't read.
Can't they?
Can they?
Here, Lola.
By now, I walked up to them because
Yeah, you're up there now,
I'm a
Inga.
miserable dwarf who's wet from head to toe.
Yep.
Oh, come inside. There's a fire and there's food.
Well, great. I just shoved her to the side and walked.
Okay. So you walk
Save
in.
your life. No biggie. Just push me around.
You walk in. You see what I've previously described, Inga, around there.
Oh, this is nice.
Tawny Bear, it's a little big for you, but you can duck down and make it in.
Small for me.
Yeah, small for you, I should say. Beg your pardon. But you can fit in. You're a little big
And
for it.
The ponies in the wagon are not fitting inside.
No, there is a little bit of protection from the rain right next to the entrance. Not a lot, but there's probably enough that you could keep them at least vaguely dry. And there's some nearby, the roots themselves are up enough from the dirt that you could actually fix a rope around them, presumably, if you wish to.
My connection is beginning to break down,
Okay.
so just be aware that I may disconnect here in a moment.
Okay. All right. So the rest of you are making your way inside, I assume. It sounds like.
Yeah,
Fine,
I'd kind of like to leave a note. Like,
Up to you. Whatever you want to do.
Yep. Okay. Yep. I have parchment and ink.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put it like by the ponies, like on the wagon, dry-ish.
Okay.
Just, hi. It was raining, and we just needed some shelter. We're super friendly, so don't, stab us. We are so friendly. Thank you for the hospitality. Let's talk about your nightmares sometimes, maybe.
Okay. So you write this rather
Hi,
extensive
let's talk
note.
about your nightmares.
write this extensive note. Okay, so you're able to write it and place it on there and then go back. Now, do you, as you guys sort of settle down around the fire, which does feel nice after the warmth outside, it's definitely quieter, a little quieter in here. Do you partake of any of the meat, or do you just sit around the fire? Tawny Bear with a big old no.
I eat nothing from this place.
Okay.
Me neither.
Would
Okay.
seem rude.
And I don't know anyone else eat stuff from this place.
And I tell the boy and the father that they are not supposed
No.
to drink or eat anything from here.
Don't
And
touch
that I will keep an eye on both of them. I will
Don't think
look like
anything.
silver-eyed or what it's called.
We'll toy you up if we have to. We don't want to, but it's an option.
Okay.
And I hand like the boy and like some dried meat or whatever.
Okay, and he
Yeah,
kind of
man, I
he
guess.
kind of sits there with his legs pulled up, you know, around like up to his just like his hands around his knees, his arms, you know, his arms around his knees there, and kind of shivers. Baldur sort of stares into the fire and doesn't say much of anything, and so you guys are there for a few minutes, and then you hear what sounds like a scratching sound from the outside.
Oh.
And then you hear, it was, and then you see
Draw my sword.
someone pull or wriggle his way basically into him. And you actually smell this before you see it. A horrifically rank smell, like the worst BO. You know, like the worst BO maximized times 5. Like this is world-class fourth day of a convention BO that I'm talking
I was about to
okay?
say, so it's like
For-
a bunch of magic. players
Right,
at
it's
the
basically
store.
right. It's like the end of Comic-Con or Gen Con or something
No.
like that, right? And you see this old, incredibly thin man dressed in rags with white hair kind of pull himself through the roots. His body is rail thin, and his wrists and his ankles are scarred. And as he sees Robar with his sword drawn, he's like, and he pulls out a spear, and he just sort of points it in your direction. Why are they here? Why are they here? Why are you
Don't
here? Why are you
you
here?
move.
Why creatures and creatures, people, bad people. They're hurting people.
No one's
hurting
getting
Robar,
hurt.
lower
Hey,
your sword.
people, hurting people.
I keep it right up at him.
Belgo and Baldur, by the way. So Baldur kind of is staring over at him. Belgo's like, you know, back against the roots, like, you know, eyes like saucers, right?
Hello,
people,
did you do those drawings?
people,
Carvings?
here, yeah.
Whatever.
My drawings, yes. Drawings, I have drawings, yes. They're drawings of things I like to draw, yeah. Out of my tree, come out of my tree. People hurt, people hurt, out of my tree, get out of my tree. I hate people out of my tree, come out of tree. It's my house,
Can-
my house.
Can
my
we
house, my house.
stay in the tree instead of going out of the tree?
Stay.
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 Yeah. Stay.
Make a persuasion check for me, Rosie.
Oh. Okay. 8.
Okay, so he's kind of like, why? No, you're stealing food. Don't have stealing food. Now, I should point out very quickly that the way this guy looks, you are not sure when the last time is that he had an actual legitimate meal. I mean,
Yeah.
you're lucky if he's 70 pounds. He is absolutely, you've never seen anyone this thin. It's like looking at a skeleton, actually. And he's kind of like,
Skeleton.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Undead. No, he's clearly not undead.
Bludgeoning.
Yes. What are you doing here? Why here? Don't come close. You should maybe leave and go into the rain and leave. Leave. Yeah, I'm here, and I'm here. They're here for me. They came for me last time, and then they took us away, and they took me away, and they'll take me away. They take people away. They take them away, and they don't come out. They don't come out.
Huh.
Who are you talking about? Who is they?
The ones out there. The ones out there. The ones out there. The
spiders?
No, spiders. No, spiders. Spiders, pretty spiders, creepily crawly spiders. No, not the spiders. The shadows. Shadows come.
I just like look at the others like, Do you know
This
anything?
is-
Like, I don't say it, but like, do you know what he's talking about? Look.
This is bad.
Can I use my foreknowledge and get a flash of insight about this guy? And is he just completely mad? Is that why he's not? If there's food here, why is he starving? That kind of thing.
Sure. Let's say. I would say let's put it this way. You don't have to make a check for this. So he's spending as much time talking to himself as he is to you, and you can tell that the food that he's got here, it's sort of unclear what food this is, but it's like little burned up bits. I mean, like there's not, much that is here. Your guy's food, you have considerably more food than this guy has probably had in ages. And as for what has got him agitated, it's not clear, except your presence in his house probably isn't helping, at least as far as his agitation at the moment. But you don't have any knowledge of anyone in particular like this, no. Here.
I like take a step forward to him with like my arms like this.
He's got his spear
Listen,
held
you
up.
look like you haven't eaten properly in a long time. Why don't you sit down and we give you some food and then you tell us who you are and try to explain your situation. How does that sound?
Food for stomach to eat food, like food to
Yes.
eat food.
Yes.
Like food, poison food,
No,
food,
not poison
food. Food. Eat food. Maybe food eat.
I'll
Maybe.
pull out a piece of twice-baked honey cake and set it next to me. I'll sit down by the fire and set it next to me and say, please.
And he, big one, big one with big, like bear, big bear, food.
Gentle bear.
And he sort of settles in. I happen to have a cinnamon scone here that I was planning for afterwards, but this works perfectly. So you guys have, I'm sure everyone in chat and in the group has had the experience of being really hungry and eating food really quickly. Then there's this, right? So this guy, the word inhale, hey Classicor, inhale would probably fit. I mean, like, he just is like, that's good scone. So he is all over this twice-baked honey cake. I mean, kaplow, like it is just gone, like within seconds.
Did he mention his name?
He didn't. He hasn't said anything about a name, but you guys haven't really asked him yet. You just sort of.
Yeah. I'll ask him.
And he
What's
says,
your name?
And after he's sort of done chewing and swallowing and kind of, I don't need a name, do I? There's only me. I know who I am. I'm me. You need name, though. You're not me. I had a name once, but they took it. They took my name. They took it. They took it. They took my name. Took my name away.
Where did they take you?
And took it. Shadows. The shadows come. And they took name. They took my name.
When do they come?
They come all the time. All the time. And you see, make a perception check for me, everybody. No, sorry. Insight, not perception. I beg your pardon. Insight.
Yes.
That's a 6.
Hey, Zyron.
18. Haha.
What's up, man? Okay. For, let's see, Terry, for Inga and for Rosie. You see that he's kind of looking around him, and he talks about they come, and he's staring at the carvings, clearly the carvings around him on the wall, as he's looking up. You can definitely tell that he's focusing on that. The rest of you just see him kind of looking around himself, kind of, frantically, but you guys can definitely tell that he looks at the walls, and it's almost like he looks up and then kind of looks away again, like he doesn't want to. Took my name. Food. More? And he looks back at you, Tiny Bear. More? And he points at, like, the crumbs that are left. More? More, maybe? More? He lays the spear by his feet. He's kind of squatting, by the way. The smell is absolutely foul.
You guys take care of him. I'm gonna go check outside on the ponies and make sure that nobody sneaks up on us or anything.
Good idea.
Hello, Niasop.
gonna look more at the carvings to see if I recognize any of those from my own dreams.
Let's see. Make an intelligence check for me, please.
Okay.
Rosie.
Oh boy. 15.
Okay. There are absolutely, Rosie, echoes of some of what you see in your visions in these carvings. There are aspects, and there's a lot in these carvings. I mean, they're very rough, but there's a lot of emphasis on shadow and darkness. There are a lot of pictures of carvings of like a person or a face, and then a big dark space around the face, or like a stick figure almost, really kind of what looks like maybe running, and then there's a huge cloud behind the stick figure. So there is much of that, and there are echoes of this in your own visions and dreams that you sense as well. And he's eating. Tawny Bear, I'm sorry. Did you say you gave him a little more of the twice baked, or did I miss that?
Yeah, and some of my water.
Okay. So he just is like, water, downing the water, like eating the thing, like, And you sense that he's getting a little bit calmer. This shadow.
So, I don't think he's... I mean, he might be a little crazy, but I don't think he's crazy.
This piece will do that.
Does he put the spear down?
Yeah, he said
Yes, the spear's down next to him. He's kind of like crouched by the fire. I mean, it's right by his hand, like,
I'll put my sword away for now.
Okay. As you do that, he kind of stirs briefly as you're putting the sword, and then he kind of... Belgo is just staring at him. Baldor, not staring, looking at him, sort of dully.
Listen, if you don't mean us any harm, then we don't need to do you any harm.
There's no harm, not there. There's harm outside. There's the harm, the shadow.
Does it get in
Shadow.
here? Or are you safe in here?
Yes. There's darkness around, all around. There's darkness, and it comes, darkness in the wood. There was light, and the shadow went away, and now comes back, bit by bit. Light, shadow comes back. It creeps up when I sleep, and I hide here. No one comes here. No shadows come here because I'm inside. Because shadow crawls in here and crawls in, and then he stares at you, Robar, and his eyes widen. And men, it crawls in men. It crawls in men. It crawls into men and the hearts of men. And exactly like that, and then back to, and near here, and I'm in here, and it won't get me here. I'm safe here. No shadows here, just outside. Light here, and shadows out there, and light here, and shadows out there, and lights here, and shadows out there. Shadow, servant, shadow, and he sees he's getting agitated. Shadow, and he's pointing at you, Robar. Shadow, are you Shadow?
Steady.
No, he's Rabar.
Shadow, are you Shadow?
I'm not a shadow, no.
You serve. Do you serve the shadow? Serve the
No.
shadow?
Look, I'm by the light, and I'll walk over to the campfire. See?
And he calms down. Light. Serve the light. Okay, Robar, I need you to make a persuasion check for me, please.
Rabar, you're casting a shadow now.
Oh God, no!
You're accidentally silhouetted. Ah!
That's what I've been waiting for.
That's a 3.
Okay, and he's like, shadow, you darkness near you, light around you, made shadow right there. And he does that. So he seems still very suspicious of you, Robar, pretty suspicious of you, Rosie. No word yet on what he
I'm
feels about
probably
Inga or
gonna
Tani.
most likely want to kill him, so that's reasonable.
Sleep well, Wesley. Most likely want to kill you in the morning. Hello, Queen Obsidian. Welcome to the Arbonauts.
You're getting a lot of mileage from that movie today.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I love it. Okay, so Tawny Bear and Inga, you guys have not done anything specific to
No,
him
I
yet,
went
other than-
outside.
Okay, you're outside. I'm sorry. Oh, you were looking at the horses.
And
That's
I
right.
built a small fire to keep warm.
Not
outside.
likely. There is
No.
no way you're going to be able to
I'm a
build a fire
dwarf. I
out
can
there.
make fire in any weather and out of anything.
I'm aware of
Yeah.
that, but even Owen and Glowin are unable to get a fire going in the Hobbit on the outskirts of the cave they find in the Misty Mountains. Out here, no chance. It is way too rainy. The wind, in fact, I don't know if you've ever been in a windstorm and a rainstorm like this where the rain is almost blowing sideways. I've been in a
I've
couple
been
like that.
in weather like this.
Those are not fun, and that's kind of what you're having here. You could make
well, I'm
another
sitting
fire.
in the doorway, basically.
Okay, yeah, so I was going to say that. You could do that. However, the smoke right where you are, because of the closeness of the hole, might kind of, you could build one there if you wish. That is possible, but you're going to get the smoke there. Outside, you wanted the smoke, but then you got the rain, so...
Okay. Well, I tried to build a fire and
Okay.
utterly failed. But what I do is that I set up my cooking pot in the rain to catch the rainwater, to refill my water skin,
Okay.
to get some fresh water.
Okay, you can do that.
From
Tawny Bear, what you had given him the cakes, and he seems to be, of all of them, he seems to be least troubled at the moment by you. So, what do you want to do?
Well, I'm, literally breaking bread with him.
Yeah.
I will share portions and eat with him and try to tell him happy tales of.
Give me an example. He's sort of staring at you as he kind of settles down. As you talk, you notice that he's like doing less of the murmuring to himself.
Of after the events at the Battle of the Five Armies, when Tawny Bear went and finally was accepted by Beorn and began to build his homestead.
Okay.
And what it was like to use my strength and my knowledge to heal things, make things better, to bring life from the earth and raise plants and animals and the peace that comes from that sort of a life. That kind of story, relating that kind of thing.
Make a persuasion check for me. Do it at advantage.
Okay.
Wow. Well,
20.
so you're just like, we'll plow. You tell him the story, and he sort of settles after a while, and then he reaches into his tattered rags. You actually didn't know that there was anywhere in his tattered rags to conceal this, but he brings forth a small little bag, and he opens the pouch. It's probably the size, this will take a minute for the delay, but if you can see on stream, it's sort of like the size of a dice bag, maybe a little larger than that. And as he pulls it out, he kind of rips the bag that it's in, because it was frankly a little bit too large for it already, like it was stretched around the edges of it. It is a broken piece of metal, and as he pulls it out, you can see that this is the remnants of a once obviously magnificent axe head. There are carvings in the outside of it. There is shapings of some kind of language that you don't understand. And it looks like it was, this is, you're not up on the latest axe manufacturer, but this is definitely not sort of the norm. And he hands it to you, and he says, the shadow hides in things. It's better to have nothing, because the darkness could hide in a stone, or an eggshell, or a gemstone, or a ring. I have carried this. This is the first time you've heard him say something like, I have carried, like in these full sentences, for too long. You take it away from me, and find where the shadow is, and destroy it, as I would have. And so he kind of pushes this axe head into your hand, this broken piece.
So with my trait, tongues of many people, do I at least recognize if this is Elvish script or Dwarvish script or anything?
Make a lore check for me, if you have it. Intelligence. No, not a ring. Okay. Yeah, you actually do think you recognize it. You think that it probably is written maybe in Elvish. And as you look at it and you read the name, you're kind of like, because the word reads Wolfbiter. Now, there is a famous ancient axe which was used by the woodmen, which you know something about because of your experience with the Bjornings, called Wolfbiter. It was an heirloom of the folk of Woodland Hall, and it was lost, as far as you know, decades ago when one of their chieftain's sons was captured by orcs. This axe was only wielded by the greatest of warriors when mortal men tried to fight back against the shadow and the evil which confronted Mirkwood at that time. This axe was at the forefront, and to find a random piece in a crazy old hermit's home is shocking to you, if that's what this is.
I thank you for this.
He nods. You stay now. Stay now. Stay now. And he kind of like, I once had a friend who had a Springer Spaniel puppy, and the Springer Spaniel puppy would literally fall asleep from the sofa to the floor. Like, it would just be like, and fall asleep. That's more or less what he does. He hands it to you and then falls asleep peacefully. And you can see as he's slumbering, there is just a little image, a little sort of in a sight you have in particular, Tawny Bear, of what it might have been like before this torturous nightmare that seems to be over him for whatever reason had come to him. Perhaps a time before when there was some peace upon him, but nothing now. So he's well asleep.
I think it's fun, while I was listening, one of my specialty is rhymes of lore, and you said something that rhymed, Arv, so I'm adding it to my ongoing list.
Awesome.
The shadow hides inside of things, in stones, in gems, and even in some rings.
Yep.
Well, I've got a little rhyme for my list.
Good pickup, Rosie. There might be something to that.
Yeah.
What's up, Super Wasp King? It is not a chocolate-covered goat testicle. No, it was not. It was definitely not that. I don't even know what to say about metal pieces that.
Yeah. So, with that, I'll kind of glance over at the bar and say, "Should probably fetching."
I'm gonna go up and see if Inga's okay.
Okay. You find her sort of muttering to herself over a ineffective flint and tinder.
Everything okay there?
Stupid fire, stupid weather.
Yeah, the rain will do that.
Well, I mean, somebody has to keep a lookout. I do not trust this place one bit. So, and I think it's a generally a bad idea to leave a pony and a donkey alone in a storm.
Yeah, I agree. I'll hang out here for a bit too.
Well then, you try to get this fire right.
Oh, that's not gonna happen, Inga.
Well, fine. I just like put away my flintstone and my what's it called, fire iron in English or something.
We just call it flint and tinder. I don't know which one I guess.
No, tinder is the stuff you set on fire, but you have like a fire stone, a flint, and you have a piece of iron. Doesn't matter. I put the stuff away.
Right.
But and then I sit down and lean against the wall and look.
I have a tarp, so I'll like tarp over us a little bit, so we have a little kind of tent.
Okay.
Like a porch.
No, we actually, well, I was sitting in the doorway, basically, in the tunnel thingy, like I wasn't sitting in.
So
a porches anyway.
And so we have Robar and Inga sitting up underneath the tarp. You have Rosie, who is writing something down and then looking up every so often at the carvings, presumably around the inside of the wood, and Tawny Bear, who goes from looking at the axe down to the old man sleeping as he just sort of lies there. And at one point, Tawny, you look over and you see that Baldur has also now sort of drifted off to sleep. And Belgo, you can see sitting up against the back roots, staring at the old man, hand clutched at his neck, eyes white in the dark. And I think at that moment, because it is about 4 minutes left to go, we will call that an
Start a
end
fight, yes.
to the session. And then the dragon comes. No, son of a... No, we won't do that. So there we go, guys. Good stuff. We had some good RP in there, and we had some good action in there as well. So good stuff, guys. All right. So we will be returning to you, lovely people in chat, and we'll be doing that. Oh my God, all the follows. We will be coming back to you guys very soon. I'm going to send out a message to these guys. So hopefully within the next couple of Tuesdays, we will be back to you and continuing with our session as these guys are closing in on at least maybe closing in towards the end of this first adventure, Don't Leave the Path, which has been fairly active. There's been a lot going on, actually, within this stuff, so we'll have a chance to do that.
Path leaving.
There's been a lot of leaving of the path.
No, we just left the path once.
That's right.
For a long time.
For a long time. So I will start down with Lauren in the bottom. Lauren, where will all the fine, besides this channel, where will all the fine people see you next on the interwebs?
Well, on Monday afternoons at 1 p.m. Eastern, I am on Will's channel, Encounter Roleplay, and I play in a D&D 5e campaign there, and it's tons of fun. I love it. You guys should check it out. Otherwise, I am on Twitter at That Salty Ginger, talking about D&D and film stuff, because that's what I do.
Good stuff. Nice work today, Lauren. As you were raining death from above on the spiders, you were doing that.
Lots of fun.
And you got some of your visions in there too. So
yeah,
good stuff.
Fun.
Moving on, right above that, we have, of course, Terry, who is seems here every Tuesday, either doing fighting fantasy game book stuff or doing everything else. Oh, okay, I'll talk about this later. I have a fighting fantasy announcement right after the cast is over. Sorry, go on. Sorry, Terry. So where will the fine people see you next, besides in this campaign?
Well, theory, like every other Tuesday here, either for these streams or for the fighting fantasy streams, where I draw whatever happens in the game live.
Yeah, Tuesday Tunes, exactly, classic.
Tuesday Tunes, yes. And other than that, you can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, DeviantArt. Same name everywhere, Tari Tunes. Just Google my name and you will find me somewhere.
Yes. And as a Patreon that you should be supporting,
yes.
as I do.
that would be nice. But yeah.
Good stuff as always. Thank you, Terry. We'll be in touch on several matters. In fact, soon.
I'm terrified.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine.
I'm terrified.
I see what you did there. Well done. Right above you, just before he has to head off and do his own thing, Will, pleasure to have you back in the fold. Where can all the fine people find you, sir?
Yeah, I would normally be streaming today, but I'm not because I got a birthday party to go to. So, I'm actually chilling this Tuesday just on this show. But you can find me on Encounter Roleplay. We stream most every day Dungeons and Dragons and other shenanigans. And you can find me there on the D&D 6 icon. Thought I'd get that one in there at the end. And I had a great time, as always. I really enjoyed this game.
Good. I'm glad. Yeah, it was a pleasure to have you on board as always. And I know that you got a big rebrand going in September. I think you got a new website coming out and stuff. So we got a lot of stuff going on. That's why I needed to get Will now. See, before he got to be
like big deal.
hanging out with Chris Perkins and all those people. I need to be like, well, first. But no, thanks as always, Will. Great pleasure to have you on board, and we will. I look forward to the next session here and checking you out on your channel as always. And last but certainly not least, Trendane, who did wake up. He was awake, and he was with us. And Trend, when will all the fine people see you next?
It's a really good question.
Any potential answers?
They're probably potential answers. I don't know what any of them are.
Okay.
I don't know. Possibly in the next a week or two, we'll be starting season 2 of Blades in the Dark 6 and 20 over on Not So Speedruns channel and Unmade Gaming's channel and Video Star Cowboys channel. All 3 channels. I know that's 4. Whatever. But if you're just for some reason desperate to hear more of my which is the technical term for it, I think, in voice acting circles, go check out Beyond Skyrim Bruma. It's a Skyrim mod which is now officially has more downloads than any other, not just on Skyrim Nexus, on all of the Nexus, the whole thing.
Yay!
It came out a month ago on July 1st, and fittingly enough, it had 2017 downloads last month. Beautiful.
Wow.
But
Nice.
check that out on the thing. I do like a dozen or so voices in that, so you'll hear me everywhere in that thing. It'll get you into Skyrim again, and you'll be cursing our names. It's wonderful.
And it'll get you into Trend's voices, which is always a good thing, of course, as well. So great pleasure to have Trendane on board. Well, since Will's not running off right this second, then I'll leave these guys on so I can tell them as well, because it'll be of interest to especially Terry, I know, that I'm going to be interviewing the lead designer of the new Fighting Fantasy Legends game from Nomad Games on Friday. I reached out to them and they got back to me, so I'm going to have them on to talk about this new game, Fighting Fantasy Legends. Nomad is the same company that does the Talisman games that we had a tournament on, so that's all semi-related to the Dungeons & Dragons thing, so you guys should check that out on Friday. I will have much more details about that schedule and calendar and all that stuff at a later point. So yes, so that is going to be happening. As for this campaign, that will be happening very soon as well. I will let everybody know. Probably, my guess is it'll be in, if I can do it, 2 weeks, which would be right before I head off for Gen Con, where I will be doing D&D, the Night at the Forbidden Library, an adventure that I am writing and doing for a live audience of 60 plus, and playing with 8 authors apparently live, so that's going to be terrifying. I mean, really awesome is what I actually meant. So it's going to be good times. I'm looking forward to it. But
That is so stupid. Who builds a library and then makes it forbidden? The whole point of a library is for
it's all
people to go
lost.
there.
Exactly. It's got an 80s movie vibe as well, so I'll be interested. I'll be writing that with chat, actually, over the next week or so. You guys will have a chance to sort of weigh in on that. But I dearly love this campaign, as I've said all along. I mean, I love D&D in general, but this particular one, because of the Tolkien connection, is good. And I got fans to play with me because I wanted people that really love this stuff, and so it's great being able to nerd out about various quotes from Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, and others. So the players have done a wonderful job buying into it, and Cubicle 7, of course, has done a great job sponsoring it. So Trendane, Will, Terry, and Lauren, thank you guys so much. I will be in contact about our next sessions, and thank you all, and we will talk to you all very soon. Jack, do we say goodbye to the wonderful people, to our wonderful players?
You say goodbye to the wonderful people. Go ahead.
You're gonna say goodbye to us or what?
Do it! Do it now! Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. And I depart there from them, and we go over here. Wait, don't leave just yet. Wait. Get rid of this, and get rid of that. And there is this. There we go. So, thank you all. Man, that's so pleasant. I love this music, but I feel like I'm going to fall asleep in a second if I don't get rid of that. Okay. You got rain. We got the whole thing going on. So that was awesome. I love, absolutely adore having sessions that have combinations of things. And so this was role-playing and combat and stuff like that, so that was great. Now, if you liked what you saw and heard, thank you, Valor and Riven. Welcome to the Argonauts. If you like what you saw and heard, you can do exactly what Valor and Riven just did. You can follow the channel. You can also do other things to support the channel. The YouTube is !ArvTube. Steam Group is !Steam Group. Discord is !Discord. Thank you, Pex Elroy. Welcome to the Argonauts. And of course, !Arvtreon. That's the Patreon that allows you to inspire the players. Also gets you things individually, including writing critiques and stuff like that. And the other thing, of course, is that sub button that you see right below the window. That purple button will get you one of 3 emotes. At the $4.99 level, you will get the Harv Hype. We've just gotten these confirmed, so we're kind of excited about it over here. A gold hype that is global, that'll work anywhere on Twitch. We have at $9.99 Arvany Quill, and at the $24.99, the Arvany So Good. So if any of that sounds good to you and you want to be able to check out your swag Twitch-wide, you can do that by, of course, subbing to the channel. And as I said, the Patreon makes it possible for us to do a lot of cool stuff as well. Now, before we bail on out of here, I'm not going to do a raid today because at the top of the hour, at 4 o'clock Eastern, I'm going to be over at GOG doing my show Pen and Pixels that I do every Tuesday. And I'm going to be doing more Dungeons & Dragons, this time Storm King's Thunder. And we have a surprise this time. For those of you who have been following that campaign, we have a surprise for the beginning of that session. So you do not want to miss the beginning of that session at 4 p.m. Eastern, because there's going to be some cool surprise stuff that one of my players in that campaign did. So that's going to be awesome. You definitely want to check that out. And then we'll be playing over there for a few hours. Next time I'll be back on this channel, though, we'll be back on Friday, when I will again be interviewing the gentleman who is the lead designer from Nomad Games for Fighting Fantasy Legends, which is going to be super cool, and I'm looking forward to that quite a bit. And then I will have the rest of the schedule. Hopefully by that time I'll have the rest of the calendar kind of laid out as well. But thank you guys so much for being here. You made this awesome, as you always do. We had a good turnout tonight. Thank you to my wonderful mods, to Dragonspear, Shattermage, and Zyron. Much appreciated. Thank you to my wonderful subscribers, which are, of course, Dragonspear, Shattermage, Brahms, and Ambrosine. Thank you guys so much to that. Also, thanks to all the Patreon supporters, too. Thank you to Outlier, Big Boss. Thank you to Classicor. Quick reminder, by the way, Classicor is still soliciting interest in a community Dungeons & Dragons game based either in Doctor Who or in the Spelljammer universe. And I think he's got enough people almost to start that Spelljammer campaign, if I'm not mistaken. So if you are interested in that, please make sure to join up with the Discord, !Discord. We'll show you how to do that. And then join up with him and make sure you drop him a line, either a Twitch private message or drop him a line on there so that we can get him involved. I'd love to do that. That's going to be happening on my channel. I will not be running it, but it'll be hosted here. It'll be at my channel, and Classicor will be doing it. So definitely contact him, because I'm looking forward to seeing some other games played that I'm not necessarily DMing. Thank you to Danjo. Thank you to Delinius. Thank you to Drakensberger. Thank you to EA. What's up, EA? Speaking of GOG people. Thank you to EKEG. Thank you to Encounter Roleplay. Great job again today, Will. Thank you so much. Thank you to Fagwent. Thank you to Groovy Joe, Jagtris, JLC, Keta, Kinesial, Lake on Twitch. Thank you to Lost 187, Moves Like Jaguar. Thank you to Neon Guana. I don't know if I've seen you in here before, Neon Guana. I hope you like what you saw and heard, and will follow the stream, and will hopefully support the channel through supporting the Patreon and subbing if you can. Thank you to Neosop. Thank you for the follow today. Same thing as I said previously about supporting further if you're able to. Same thing to Pex Elroy. Much appreciated. Thank you to Nonstop, who's been with me for a very long time, and of course is a Patreon supporter, etc. Thank you to Shipping It, which I did manage to get spelled right, I think. Again, thank you for following today. Same things as I said to everyone else. Thank you to Super Wasp King, to Swizzy. Don't know if I've seen Swizzy. Same thing I said before. Hopefully you like what you saw and heard, and will follow and support through sub or Patreon if you can. Thank you to Sylphrina, who I have seen on here before. Hello, Sylphrina. Thank you to Terry Tunes again. Great job out of Terry. Thank you to the Trorian. I think I've also said hi to that person as well today for a new follow, so thank you there. Thank you to Uxie. Thank you to Trendane. Great job today, Trendane, as always. Thank you to Trouden. Always a pleasure to have Trouden here. Thank you to Valor and Riven. Thank you again so much for the follow, Valor. I appreciate it. Thank you to Vaken. Much appreciated, Vaken. Good to see you, man. Thank you to Violacious Tawn. Thank you for the awesome introduction today, Tawn. I appreciate it. And thank you, last but certainly not least, to Wolfstrike. You guys are the best. That's going to do it for me. I will see you guys at the top of the hour, 4 p.m. Eastern over at GOG for some Storm King's Thunder and more Dungeons & Dragons, so check us out there. Plus that surprise, as I mentioned. Otherwise, I'll see you back here on Friday for the interview with Fighting Fantasy Legends lead designer and developer. Thanks so much, everyone. Love you all. Best viewers on Twitch, and I'll catch you all very soon. Until then, be good to each other. Have a good day.